各位贵宾，大家好，我们今天下午场。
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2023 TEEMA Global Networking Forum will start very soon. In the afternoon part of the forum, we'll also provide the interpretation service. If you need interpretation device, please use the
And today's 2023 TEEMA Global Networking Forum will commence shortly. Please kindly take your seats. Thank you. Ladies
and gentlemen, the 2023 TEEMA Global Networking Forum now starts. Good afternoon and welcome back to the 2023 TEEMA Global Networking Forum after lunch. I'm TEEMA has been dedicated efforts to long been committed to a domestic IC manufacturer to achieve the goal of sustainable development. According to the core spirit, the TEEMA Global Networking Forum is held every year with the United States, Mexico, Canada trade agreement officially coming into effect. In order to help ICT companies, this morning's session talked about the USMCA and CPTPP, and for this afternoon part of the forum, we bring together government agencies, think tank scholars, and the Taiwan businessmen in Mexico and the Mexico trade officials to introduce the business opportunities in Mexico and the U.S. market. We hope that through this kind of discussion that we can help the Taiwan industry to be linked with the international market. And now, first, Mr. Richard Lee, Chairman of TEEMA. Next, Mr. James Huang, Chairman of TITRA, Taiwan External Trade Association. Next, Ms. Betsy Shea, Commercial Section Chief of AIT. and Mr. Ricardo Xu, Assistant Trade Representative OTN. In the beginning of the forum, we have the Mr. Richard Lee, Chairman of TEEMA, address us for the opening remark. First, I'd like to thank you for coming to this this international forum in the afternoon. This forum shows how much importance we attach to the international market. On behalf of TEEMA, I'd like to thank every one of you, Chairman Huang and Miss Betsy Shedd and Mr. Martin Torrance and the distinguished guest. We will also have the Mr. Cheng and Francisco Chevatis, who are online to join us. First, was the invitation of the Miss Betsy Shedd. There are representatives from the 10 states of the United States. We have set up booths on both sides of the room. Next year, we will have find a better place for them. We hope that these states will. My apologize to these representatives in Taiwan, ASOA, the American States Offices Association, now include 18 states. They are just around the World Trade Center. So you can might as well take this chance to exchange with them. And for the representatives, we have set up this place for you. Maybe you don't have a chance to go up stage. We have the representative from South Carolina, Nevada, and Texas to share with us the investment opportunities in the U.S. We hope that we can continue to attach importance to the business opportunities in the United States, and later Miss Betsy Shea will talk to us and about the opportunities in the U.S. And also we have the representatives from Mexico to talk about the business opportunities there. And Mr. Hong will be lead the panel discussion as the moderator so we can understand the developments of the new technology hubs in the U.S. And for the investment opportunities in Mexico, we'd like to thank Mr. Xu, Ricardo Xu, who will be be moderating the forum on the investment opportunities in Mexico, and we have the experts, including the Mr. Chen Wenji of the Inventec, and Mr. Lai of the Win, and Mr. Zhan join us online. There's Sergio Gomez Lora. We have long excommunicated uh, communicated with exchanged with him. We and Mr. Xu, the representative who has lived in Mexico for 7 years. He has built a good relationship with Mexico. So this enabled us to visit Mexico with the delegation led by Chairman Huang. We went to the Mexico City and the central government and some states in Mexico where we have rarely been there before. We like to thank Mr. Xu for his uh, for laying a good foundation of of the Taiwan-Mexico relation. We hope that next year that the delegation from Mexico, from the U.S., which are related to the Taiwan's investment in Mexico and U.S., will come to Taiwan. We wish to hold di different forums or seminars so we can have a direct contact with the government officials or the businesses there. Thank you for participating at this forum. Thank you, Chairman Lee, for your opening remark. On the next, we have the Mr. James Huang, Chairman of TITRA, address us. Chairman Lee of TEEMA, and Mr. Martin Torres, and Ms. Betsy Shit of the AIT, and and Ambassador Zheng Yong, and Mr. Francisco Cervantes. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today, on behalf of TITRA, I'm honored to have to co-organize this TEEMA in Global Networking Forum. TITRA and TEEMA are long-term partners. We work together in developing the international markets. This June, both associations, along with the Taiwan Circuit Board Association, went to Mexico and the southern part of the United States to develop this very important market. As we know that the U.S., the United States is the Taiwan's second largest export destination. Actually, Taiwan's 80% of the Taiwan's exports to China are the middle materials, which are exported to the U.S. So actually, the United States is the #1 export destination country of Taiwan. We have closed economic and trade tie with United States. President Biden signed the U.S.-Taiwan Initiative on 21st Century Trade First Agreement implementation, which came into effect. This agreement will deepen the trade and economic development between the two countries, and it's this powerful proof of the trust and cooperation between the two countries. With the change of geopolitical, in recent years, the cooperation between Taiwan and the United States is very important for the global supply chain, especially in the semiconductor and 5G. And Taiwan, relying its high quality talent and advanced technologies, has become the reliable partners in the international community. Last year, uh, Taiwan took up two uh, took up two of the top 10 investment in FDI projects. TSMC and Global Wafer. So Taiwan has become a very important FDI partner of the United States. We we have also become a very important investment destination for the United States with the manufacturing backlog policy promoted by the United States in recent years. The United States have become a very important production center, and TITRA has uh, held different events like the American Image exhibition, and we also set up the fifth trade. Uh, we have set up the fifth service spot in Dallas, Texas. We have conducted in-depth discussions in reviving the trade in the in America, and the USMCA is aimed to replace the imports from Asia, and Mexico will become the most important production base of USMCA and the world-class production base for. And this is a great opportunity for the Taiwan business. This June, along with the TEEMA and the Circuit Board Association, we went visited the United States and Mexico. We met the Mexico officials and Taiwan businessmen there from the Minister of Economy, and they urged us to Taiwan business to come to Mexico. Uh, there are more than 300 Taiwan businesses, and their CEOs say the same thing. So you can understand that the nearshoring and reshoring policy of Mexico will definitely become a very important production center of the world, and this Taiwan as that's the most important manager of this global supply chain, and we also produce the key components in the supply chain. So we need to really seize this opportunity. If we want to seize the opportunities in the North America, then we must invest in Mexico, and TITRA will continue to work with TEEMA to help the Taiwan business to set up operation in Mexico. And I will thank you for your support of this event, and I wish this forum a great success, and that you gain a lot, and wish this event a great success and good health to everyone. Thank you. And thank you, Chairman Huang, for your address. Now we will have Ms. Betsy Xie.
Chairman Li, Chairman Huang, and friends from Mexico and Canada, and on behalf of the states of the United States, the friends, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon.
To represent AIT at the TEEMA Global Networking Forum today. I want to express my gratitude especially to TEEMA for providing this valuable opportunity to discuss opportunities for Taiwan companies in the United States and opportunities in the United States and throughout the North American market. I won't reiterate the points made by our acting director earlier this morning when he talked about AIT's continuous efforts to strengthen the close trade and economic relationship between the U.S. and Taiwan. Let's keep this brief. Our office has one central mission: creating jobs in the United States by promoting exports from and foreign direct investments to the United States. We work closely with state economic development offices, such as those represented here today, and our colleagues in Washington, D.C., to facilitate decisions by Taiwan investors considering the United States for their next investment. Last May, my team brought over 200 delegates to the 2023 Select USA Investment Summit, and we're gearing up for industry and technology-specific investment missions for 2024 by bringing targeted groups of Taiwan investors to newly designated tech hubs across the United States. Later in the Invest US Forum session, I will provide an overview of the Select USA Summit and how attending can efficiently guide you through the investment process. TEEMA has been our invaluable partner in many sectors, facilitating the recruitment of Taiwan delegations to the United States and providing U.S. visitors with insightful perspectives from industry leaders. I would like to take the opportunity to extend my sincere appreciation to Chairman Richard Lee and his team. We eagerly anticipate collaborating with TEEMA in the upcoming Select USA Summit next year from June 23 to 26 at National Harbor, Maryland, just 18 kilometers from the White House. Furthermore, I am thrilled that TEEMA is partnering to organize a delegation of Taiwan exhibitors and visitors to Exponential, an annual trade show and industry conference focused on the uncrewed aerial systems and robotics industry in San Diego, California, from April 23 to 25 next year. This event gathers the most competent and innovative autonomous technology entities from around the world. I'm impressed with TEEMA's extensive coverage of the high-tech sector and eagerly anticipate a close collaboration in advanced technologies, especially drone and counter-drone technologies, as these will play a key role in helping Taiwan to defend itself. The United States stands firmly together with Taiwan in building strong global supply chains and fostering industry collaboration. I look forward to further strengthening partnerships to bolster the resilience of our economies. 谢谢大家。
谢谢我们谢贝琴组长 Thank you so much for your remarks. Please kindly resume to your seats. Thank you. 那紧接着呢，我们就要
Next, we invite the delegates to Mexico, Mr. Jen, online to give us some remarks. Let's welcome him. Are you online? Yes. Taiwan, TEEMA, Chairman Li, Republic of China, TAITRA, Chairman Huang, AIT, Section Head Betty Xi, Mexico, Martin Dogbrace, and the Mexican and the Taiwan Chair the Enterprises. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm quite honored in Mexico online to participate 2023 TEEMA Global Networking Forum. I would like to appreciate the TEEMA Chairman Li, TAITRA Chairman Huang, and the teams put effort to conduct this forum. And I hope in the future, going through such private exchange to enhance Taiwan and Mexico and international partners, then bilateral economic and industrial cooperation. From 2019, I came to Mexico, taking this position, and closely working with TEEMA. TEEMA is an association, a very important partner to promote export cooperation. From long networking to short networking, the network has been established. So under the support of TEEMA this year for the Taiwan-Mexican economic cooperation laid a very important milestone, and delegates visiting mutually. I'm sure on the news you have read the TEEMA and PCB Association, and we have delegates in June to visit Mexico, and they are heavyweight high-tech companies, very well welcomed and valued, and that was the best delegates visiting. Starting from 2019, TEEMA's support to Taiwan and Mexicans' contribution, like Foxco, Petactron, Inventec, and Quanta, and Chihuahua, and the other states to set a factory to expand the production capacity. These are the members of TEEMA, cooperate with TEEMA with their power, economic power in Mexico to expand the relationship with Mexico in terms of diplomacy, economic trade, visiting with officials, and such as this event inviting Mexico's Enterprises Association, and also Business Coordinating Council, and Auto Manufacturing Association, and Auto Parts Manufacturing Association. With this cooperation, as well as important electronic manufacturing cooperation, that will be the result of TEEMA's effort. Once again, thank TEEMA's contribution to support the partners for their contribution in North America. And this Global Networking Forum is a result of TEEMA's organizing after their long time visiting and experiencing and exchanging with other partners through the exchange with different industries to share the ICT, semiconductor, EV, green energy, and net zero carbon emission information, and to enhance international business information, and to deploy internationally. It's a very meaningful event. Lastly, I wish the success of the forum and hope friends from Mexico and Taiwan to have a happy stay in Taiwan. Thank you. Thank you, Delegate Chen, Representative Chen, for your remark. Thank you very much. Next, we would like to invite from Mexico Business Coordinating Council President Mr. Francisco Cervantes Diaz to say a few words online.
Business Coordinating Council CCE Mr. Francisco Cervantes Diaz. 欢迎。
Para mí participar en el Global Networking Forum organizado por mis amigos de TEEMA. Grandes amigos con los que el Consejo Coordinador Empresarial ha trabajado intensamente para fortalecer las relaciones entre los sectores privados de México y Taiwán. Dentro de las actividades que hicimos el último año, lanzamos el primer grupo de trabajo México-Taiwán en circuitos impresos, mejor conocidos como los PCBs, para explorar oportunidades de inversión de Taiwán en México, y recibimos en nuestro país a empresarios taiwaneses de alto nivel encabezados por mi gran amigo Richard Lee. El grupo de trabajo de PCBs resultó ser exitoso y permitió abrir las puertas a las industrias taiwanesas para otras oportunidades en México, como son los vehículos eléctricos y el equipo médico. Además, hace unas semanas tuve el honor de recibir en México a Roger Liao, vicepresidente de TEEMA, y le reiteramos la importancia de trabajar juntos para explorar sinergias en los dos proyectos piloto que están impulsando los sectores privados de México y Estados Unidos. Como resultado de su visita, se logró la firma de acuerdos de entendimiento con los principales jugadores de la industria automotriz en México. Quiero reconocer el liderazgo de mi amigo Richard Lee, un gran visionario que entiende la dinámica mundial en esta nueva ola del nearshoring y que ha sabido acercar a la industria taiwanesa a lugares estratégicos para aprovechar esta oportunidad única en una generación e incrementar la inversión de Taiwán en México. Como ustedes saben, la pandemia del COVID-19 y la política internacional han obligado a la economía más grande del mundo a reordenar sus cadenas de suministro y México es el país idóneo para hacerlo. Somos vecinos aliados, tenemos el acuerdo entre Estados Unidos, México y Canadá y somos el principal socio comercial de intercambio de bienes por 735 mil millones de dólares. Para que una idea son los millones de dólares que se han invertido en México. Invito a los empresarios de Taiwán a continuar por nuestro plan de trabajo del 2024 y que estoy convencido que logremos aprovechar la coyuntura única del nearshoring, materializando oportunidades de inversión en México que reditúa y son redituables para todos los miembros de TEEMA. Muchas gracias y gran saludo con gran afecto.
Okay, gracias, Mr. Cervantes Diaz 为我们所做的致辞。那接下来我们一起进行。
Next, we will invite all the distinguished guests to come to the stage for the group photo taking. First, we'll invite the Chairman Lee and Chairman Huang of TITRA, and Ms. Betsy Shea, Commercial Section Chief. On the next, the 2023 TEEMA Global Networking Invest US Forum is about to begin. This forum will pay special attention to the new opportunities and challenges that Taiwan's ICT industry is facing with the entry into the force of the USMCA and CPTPP. USMCA affects trade policy between the United States, Mexico, and Canada, while CPTPP is a Trans-Pacific Regional Trade Agreement that has a profound impact on economic cooperation and trade in this region. So under these two frameworks, Taiwan business can be benefited so to expand the trade ties. Therefore, this forum will focus on analyzing how the impact of USMCA and CPTPP on Taiwan's ICT industry. And you have there's a question sheet for you, so you can fill in the. If you have any questions, you can write your questions in the question sheet and give to the staff. First, we will have the Mr. Hong Chun Hui address provide the moderator of this forum and provide the introduction. Chairman Lee and ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I was told that I have to conduct this forum in English, and I'll try to refresh my English.
The Director General of Market Intelligence and the Consulting Institute. It's my pleasure to be here serving as the moderator of this section, Invest US Forum. In this session, we're going to have 4 topics, which are the Select US Investment Summit and Tech Hubs, the investment opportunities and the market overview of Texas, lithium batteries and EV material loops in Nevada and the South Carolina Nexus for Advanced Resilient Energy. The speakers are Basti She, the Commercial Section Chief of AIT, Carol Tan, the representative of Texas Economic Development Connection, and Dr. Frederick Steinman, the Principal Investigator of Nevada's Regional Technology and Innovation Hub, and also the St. Lin Taiwan representative of South Carolina Department of Commerce. Hopefully, through their presentations and sharing, all the participants here will be able to find out more opportunities to invest in the United States or cooperate with the friends and the partners in the U.S. First of all, and I would like to invite our first speaker, Mr. Basti She, the Commercial Section Chief of AIT, to share with the Select U.S. Summit and Tech Hubs. Let's welcome Basti.
Thank you, Director General Hong, for the kind introduction. Now please welcome Ms. Basti She, the Commercial Section Chief of AIT, for our first presentation.
Is there a pointer?
Yes.
Do we have a power? Okay. Good. Well, hello again. I was told that this panel was in Chinese, so I was ready to speak. I was ready to make you suffer through my poor Chinese, but I guess I get to. Heidi says I should still speak Chinese. So. I think the boss said I should speak English. So. You'll probably be more comfortable with my English. So I'm Betsy, as you know, and I'm going to talk today about the Select USA Investment Summit. Many of you have been to the summit with us. Many of you have joined us in May or June, around that time frame, in the Washington, D.C. area. So today I'm going to give you a few statistics about the program. Oh, good, I can see it right here. So this is some numbers that give you a better sense of what the summit is all about. At the summit, today we have, actually first let me pause and have our state government representatives stand up, please. From all of the different states, we have South Carolina, Montana, Virginia, is that California? Sorry. And then Idaho, West Virginia, someone's going to get mad at me for leaving them out. But we have Texas, South Carolina, of course. New Mexico is here. We have, look at this around the room and imagine that times 4 or 5, and you'll know what we have at the summit in Washington. All 50 states are represented, and U.S. states and territories are represented, including Guam and the other Mariana Islands, and 700 economic development organizations. So every state has their economic development organization, but you also have many smaller regions that have smaller economic development organizations, such as Phoenix and Dallas and Los Angeles. They all have their own groups that want to attract you to their location, and of course they all are competing with each other. So you have an opportunity to go to the floor and make deals with these organizations and try to get the best investment opportunity. Last year there were this year rather, 2023, there were almost 5,000 participants, and they come from let's see, that's on another slide, I think. They come from 83 international markets, and 2,300 of them are investors. Over 230 speakers, 6 cabinet officials. Last year we had the Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken. We had the Secretary of Energy. The Secretary of Commerce hosts the program and spends a lot of time at the summit. The President of the United States came in online, and 16 state governors attended, 21 chiefs of mission, so meaning ambassadors. Director of AIT always attends. Director Outkirk has been there 2 times already and will go again in 2024. Next slide. So the top 10 delegations, I want you to have a look at the far left of this screen. Taiwan. For the last 5 years, Taiwan has been the number one in the largest group, the largest delegation to the Select USA Summit, beating India, South Korea, China, Japan, etc. And so you can see how high Taiwan punches above its weight. An island of 23 million people, and you have the largest delegation. It also shows the very keen interest that Taiwan companies have in expanding their investment opportunities, diversifying their investment opportunities beyond China and into Mexico, United States, Southeast Asia, India. That's a trend that we're all seeing, and we're fortunate to have a lot of interest in the United States in the North American market, both for sales and for investments. Now, you may not be able to see this circle here, all the little words there, but the top industries that are coming to that to the summit are from business and professional services, ICT, energy, automotive, healthcare, financial services, food and beverage, design and construction, consumer goods, distribution, and logistics. And you can see in the bottom right photo, there's a meeting with the Undersecretary of Commerce, Marissa Lago, with MOEA DG Cynthia Jiang, and many TEEMA members. TEEMA has always sent a robust delegation with us. I had the pleasure of leading a TEEMA Roger and I led the TEEMA EV delegation along with Jason Zhang, who's here today, to Ohio, Mexico, Texas, New Mexico, and we even crossed the border and went into Mexico. We recognize the importance of the Meimois Bianjie in that region, in the borderplex, for economic development that benefits both Mexico, the United States, and also, of course, Taiwan. Here is a picture of our group, and you get a sense of the size of our group. You can see Director Oudkirk in the middle of that photograph, and you'll recognize many people in that photograph from TEEMA, from various parts of the Taiwan government, and from many different ministries and many different states. So here you'll see us at the Foxconn factory in Ohio, and we were there with Christina as well, who led our group and represented Richard Lee on that delegation. We also went to the Daimler plant. We had a lot of fun. We took the TEEMA delegation and the EV delegation to a baseball game in, was that Texas? I think that was in Texas, El Paso. And we had the opportunity to do some tourism, but also importantly to visit potential customers, because we recognize that your customer is in the United States, and in many cases your customer is inviting you to build factories in the United States or nearby in Canada or in Mexico. So for the last 5 years, as you know, we've brought large numbers to go across the United States. And before the summit, sometimes after the summit, we make a stop in different locations. So this year, you'll see, I'm going to show you 2 slides. We have 2 opportunities for our visits to the United States. One is the official spin-offs that are hosted and organized by the Department of Commerce Select USA in cooperation with the economic development offices in these different states. We also, and I'll come back to this slide, we also have an opportunity to explore a new program in the United States called Tech Hubs. Tech Hubs is a concept that was developed by the CHIPS and Science Act. It was developed by many people in the federal government, but the funding for tech hubs comes from the CHIPS and Science Act. And these tech hubs, the concept behind the tech hubs is really based on the model, the incredible model that Taiwan has perfected, that is the envy of the world. Your 科学园区, Hsinchu Science Park, Taichung, Tainan, and so on. The many science parks that you have here, everyone in the world is trying to copy you and to create that same incredible ecosystem that produces the amazing manufacturing that you have in Taiwan. The United States recognizes that many of the Taiwan investors that landed in the United States have some struggles. They are facing many challenges. They're looking for labor. They're looking for R&D opportunities. They're looking for a home, someplace a location that will welcome them, that will provide the same type of care and feeding that the science parks offer you in Taiwan. And we hear a lot of complaints. There's no question. We're happy to have the investors, but we also recognize that we have a lot of work to do in the United States to make it easier for you to land there and to develop and to grow there. And so in response to those challenges, we have established this program called Tech Hubs. And there was a competitive process that the CHIPS and Science Act office, actually this is administered by a program in Department of Commerce called EDA, Economic Development Authority or Administration, and they executed a competition. And so hundreds of locations in the United States competed to be called a tech hub. And the government spent a long time, many, many months, evaluating the applications. What they were looking for is regions in the U.S. that had universities, good workforce development programs, that had good research and development platforms, and that had good real estate and science park communities that would offer opportunities to welcome investors, both domestic and foreign investors. 31 locations were selected. And each one of these locations offers a different technology, specialty, and focus. The general focus of these programs are broken down here: safe and effective autonomous systems, maintaining our quantum edge, advancing biotechnology with and drugs and devices, advancing biotechnology in precision and prediction, accelerating our energy transition, strengthening our critical minerals supply chain, regaining leadership in semiconductor manufacturing, and growing the future of materials manufacturing. So these are the general topics, but under every topic you will see subtopics. For example, under materials manufacturing, you'll see a group that focuses on polymers, another that focuses on forest bioproducts, another on aerospace materials, and so on. So we are happy to distribute these links to anyone that is particularly interested, but we wanted to let you know that our outbound investment missions will include stops in some of these locations, which are also focused on specific industry and technology areas. For example, in Florida, there's a Miami spinoff that focuses on business and professional services, for example, financial services, ICT. In Washington State, they're talking about aerospace and defense and environmental technology and marine technology and life sciences. So these materials we can make available to you, and we'd like you to really take a look at these two opportunities, both the Select USA spinoffs and also the tech hubs, and to talk to us about where in the U.S. you would be most interested. We'd be happy to work with you to customize a program for the for June of 2024. We will be jumping around the U.S. before we land in Washington for the Fenghui, the summit. And then finally, I'd like to take just a moment of your time to send a message from our Secretary of Commerce welcoming you to Washington, D.C.
Hello, I'm U.S. Secretary of Commerce Gina Raimondo, and I'm thrilled to announce that registration for the 2024 Select USA Investment Summit is open. We're excited to be celebrating the 10th edition of the top event for foreign direct investment in the United States. Every investment summit gets bigger and better, and we look forward to welcoming you to our most successful one yet. I look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you, everyone, and please bring your questions to us. Thank you. 谢谢大家.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bessie Shed, the Commercial Section Chief of AIT, for your sharing. Thank you. 那接下来呢，我们要欢迎的是 Next up, I would like to welcome Ms. Carol C. Tam, CCIM, the representative of Texas Economic Development Connection. 我们下阶段主题会是德州投资市场的机会介绍。So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Carol C. Tam, CCIM. Welcome.
Thank you. 大家好，我先用中文自我介绍，然后我用英文。我是陈雅君，我来自台湾，我是台北台湾出生的。16岁的时候全家移民到美国，所以我已经到美国40年了。30年是在加州，10年是在 Dallas, Texas. Hello, everybody. My name is Carol Tam, CCIM. I am very happy and grateful to be here today.
能够在这里，特别要感谢 Betsy、AIT、海底，还有这个李理事长，让我有这个机会来做演讲。
Texas Economic Development Connection. We're actually here since December the 1st, so I have been here for 3 weeks. Prior to this, we were in Japan. So this is a Japan-Taiwan trip mission. My team already left on December the 7th. I'm the one left behind, so I can attend this special event here. So welcome to Texas. How many of you been to the state of Texas? Please raise your hand. Very good. That's amazing. Besides barbecue, what else do you like about Texas? So I just want to welcome you because Betsy led over 200 companies to visit Dallas, Texas back in May 1st to May 4th, 2023. My partner, Dave Quinn, was actually there. And we were here representing over 50 EDC, Economic Development Connection. We're able to help you connect anywhere in the state of Texas. Have you heard of it? Texas is its own country. Yes. So why Texas? We're the #1 U.S. exporter. We're the #8 largest economy in the world. We have the workforce, and there's no state income tax, no personal income tax. There's incentive waiting for you to come check us out. EDC offer property tax incentive, state income intensive. I apologize for my voice. I lost my voice. We also have utility incentive. We also offer sales tax incentive. If you're here to open a hotel, resort, we charge 12% sales tax on the hotel room. But there's a way to negotiate. So you contact us and contact my team. David Lau in the back, raise your hand. He's my Taipei coordinator. We welcome you to ask us questions. So we're also the international trade. There's 1,600 foreign companies doing business in Texas, including Toyota. How many of you know Toyota moved from Torrance, California to Plano, Texas in 2017? Very good. Only 2 people know about it. Well, I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I'm currently living in Plano. Plano is the headquarters of Toyota. We also have Fujitsu and Global Wafers, Huanqiujing. They came over here and signed a contract with City of Sherman, EDC, December the 5th, 2023. I'm very blessed to live only 1 hour and 15 minutes from Sherman, Texas. Results speak for themselves. We offer there's 1,028 new project announced. There's 35 headquarters, relocation to Texas. I lived there because I was in California for 30 years. And 10 years ago, because my husband's job, we have to pull the kids out of school, sell everything in California, and move to Plano, Texas. I'll tell you the truth. Back in 2013, there were cows and cornfields on both sides of the freeway. There was nothing. Nowadays, you come to visit Plano, visit Frisco, it feels like California. The traffic, the construction, the robust economy, the job opportunity. Did you know every day we have over 400 people move from somewhere else come to Texas? We have workforce. Of course, Betsy mentioned earlier, if we have company here, how do we find a workforce? There's a language barrier. How do we find them? We're here to help you. And Betsy mentioned about the CHIPS Act. Did you know $698 million semiconductor fund were provided? Foreign trade zones. We have 34 foreign trade zones in the state of Texas. Texas also have seaport along the Gulf of Mexico. Here we go, 19 seaports. I wanted to spend some more extra time on Texcoma Semiconductor Tech Hub. This is very dear to my heart, and as you can see on the industry firms on the right-hand corner, you see Texas Instrument. That's TI, actually in Sherman. They recently bought 300 acres in Sherman. And you know Global Wafer, Huanqiujing, they recently bought 144 acres in Sherman, Texas. You also know Tokyo Electron, Dongjing Dianqi, they bought 10 acres in Sherman, Texas. On the workforce, do you see on the left-hand side, there's university. You see SMU, Southern Methodist University, that's in Dallas. You see UNT, you see Arlington. Arnold is graduated from UC Arlington. Then you see UC Dallas, that's right next to my office. And both of my children went to school in UT Dallas. Baylor University. You see Austin College, that's a private college right there in Sherman, Texas, only 10 minutes from Huanqiujing, okay? See, these are the workforce, the Collin College, those students graduate from college, there will be job opportunity right there for them. Texcoma Semiconductor Tech Hub. Earlier I mentioned, what does Texcoma stand for? That's the Texas and the Oklahoma border. Why are we different beside Huanqiujing, you know, Texas Instrument, TI, Global Wafer, Tokyo Electron, and the facial recognition? They're already there in Sherman. Sherman is only 1 hour, less than 1 hour to the border of Oklahoma, state of Oklahoma. Did you know we have the largest lake between state of Texas and state of Oklahoma? That's the resource of fresh water. As a technology company, you're looking for natural resources, right? Water is very important. Supply chain, commercialization, workforce. So you have the workforce, the labor, the local opportunity, the people who graduate from college come into your company. You also have the supply chain, the 上游公司, 下游公司, anybody you can think of coming with Global Wafers. They're all coming. I even promoting the food services, food manufacturer, 食品工业, right? We don't have it over there. So when there's a company, there are people, they need to eat, they need to drink, they need to drive from point A to point B, they need housing. Those are opportunity. And earlier Patsy mentioned it's difficult. Communication, you're going to US, who do you trust? So we are your one-stop shop. We're Texas Economic Development Connection. I speak your language. I love Taiwan. I love Taiwan. Thank you. Here's my business partner, Dave Queen. He represents over 50 cities, EDC. Okay, he owns his own company. I own my own company. We have business partnership agreement. So for someone like your company connect with us, we're able to package you. Package you by telling us what is you're looking for. How big is the land you're looking for? How big is the warehouse you're looking for? What type of business do you have? How many job opportunity you're offering? What is your minimum wage? What is your, middle managers? And do you want loading docks? Everything you ask for, we put it in the package, and we're able to package you your desire and ship it, submit it to different EDC, and we'll find a match for you. Here's our partner. This time is Kilgore EDC. They're in East Texas. Next is Marshall in East Texas. Did you know in Sherman, Tokyo Electron bought 10 acres right next to 75 freeway, and they pay $100,000 an acre? It's just because Global Wafer is already there. So Tokyo Electron say, I want to be there too. 10 acre, 100,000 per acre. Did you know if you go 2 hours east of Dallas, they're charging 20,000 per acre? What a big difference. For business owner, we're looking for low cost. We're looking for development. We're looking for opportunity, right? So number doesn't lie. Here's me, Carol Tam, CCIM. I am a certified commercial investment member. I'm actually a broker in state of Texas. And this is my office in Richardson, Texas, right next to UTD. I welcome you to contact me and my business partner, David Lau. You have our Google, you can Google us. You have our email, our website. And in conclusion, I'm going to speaking in Mandarin Chinese, so you know I'm bilingual. Okay? All right, 谢谢.
Thank you. Now I will speak in Chinese. I represent Texas Economic Development Connection. Now I give you summarize my presentation. Our objective is to help the SME understand Texas and invest in Texas. That Texas is very huge. It takes 10 hours to drive from one side to the other side of the state. There are complicated regulations. So how should we start? Contact us. Now there are 1,600 foreign business in Texas, including TSMC, Global Wafer. Number 4, the Texas, the eighth largest economy in the world. It doesn't have the individual income tax. The job opportunities in Texas rank number 1 in the states because the promotion by the government. Texas is the best choice for you to set up companies. And Texas provides grants to the SMEs. And we have the foreign trade zones. We encourage the production in Texas and the hiring of the local talent. Welcome, join us. Please contact us for the business opportunities. Thank you very much.
Carol Tam, CCIM, thank you. 我们希望大家呢，在今天我们各州代表来 present 之后呢，都可以来前进我们各州来共创商机。
So that we can create a business opportunity in each day. Then we invite from Nevada, Dr. Frederick Simon to do the online sharing and talking about Nevada lithium batteries and other EV material loop. Let's invite Dr. Frederick Simon.
Hello, hi, can you hear us?
I can. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much. You may proceed. Thank you.
Great. Hopefully you're seeing my slide deck
Yes.
regarding supercharging Nevada's lithium batteries and other EV materials loop.
Yes, we can see it clearly.
Wonderful. Well, on behalf of the University of Nevada, Reno, it is my sincere pleasure to join you today to talk about one of the 31 newly established EDA, Economic Development Administration, regional technology and innovation hubs here in the state of Nevada. Very quickly, just to share with you a little bit about the University Center for Economic Development. I currently serve as the director of this center, and as Nevada's only EDA-funded university center, our mission is primarily to work with the private sector on bringing to bear the resources of the University of Nevada, Reno to solve a wide variety of community and economic development challenges. Nevada is a tough economic nut to crack, primarily given the geography of the state as well as the distribution of population. Nevada is roughly the size of France geographically, yet with a relatively small population. And the majority of that population is clustered primarily in three large metropolitan areas. These metropolitan areas are home to the state's three universities, as well as several community colleges and a wide variety of private sector industry. In terms of our particular tech hub focused on critical elements, including extraction to processing to advanced manufacturing, as well as recycling, the majority of that activity is actually occurring and will likely occur in our non-metro communities, really requiring us in this particular technology and innovation hub to think about how we bridge the gap between where our population and workforce is, and then of course where the actual extraction, processing, advanced manufacturing, and recycling occurs. In terms of the Regional Technology and Innovation Hub, or Tech Hub, that was recently approved by EDA for Nevada, this Tech Hub is unique relative to a lot of the Tech Hubs that were approved back in October of 2023, as the majority of the state, 16 of our 17 counties, are included within the geographic area of the Tech Hub. We also boast over 50 individual consortium partners, crossing the public sector to the private sector and various nonprofit and community development organizations. A number of our private sector consortium members include firms such as Panasonic North America, Lithium Americas, Tesla, Redwood Materials, and a wide variety of extractors, processors, and advanced manufacturers as well. We're really looking to build on the efforts of the state of Nevada over the last 10 to 15 years, really going back to the creation of the Governor's Office of Economic Development by then Governor Brian Sandoval, now President of the University of Nevada, Reno, to really focus on further diversification of the state's economic base. One of the unique aspects of our tech hub is Nevada has a unique opportunity within the critical elements industry sector to really develop a complete cradle to cradle approach. Identifying critical gaps in the value network and supply chain of this emerging industry sector, provide direct technical and financial assistance to new firms in order to close those gaps within the value network. And again, really focused on identifying those gaps, be it in terms of extraction, processing, advanced manufacturing, and then recycling as well. Another major advantage of this particular tech hub is that we have the critical elements within the state, not just the lithium, vanadium, and other rare earth elements that go into battery manufacturing, but also gold, copper, silver, zinc, other industrial minerals and precious metals critical to support advanced manufacturing in the world of EV materials. Again, the real challenge is going to be continued identification of key gaps and then focusing our technical and financial assistance to private sector firms to close those individual gaps. Ultimately, a very strong upside in terms of overall domestic U.S. growth of the overall EV battery production industry. Recent industry estimates in terms of moderate growth place total economic output for the entire United States in the EV battery production sector between 90 to 150 billion dollars over the next 10 to 20 years. In terms of a high growth scenario, anticipated total economic output ranging between 130 billion dollars by 2030 all the way up to potentially 200 billion dollars by 2040. And again, with the significant investments that have already been made within this particular sector here in the state of Nevada, we certainly look forward to working with private sector interests as well as our various public sector and community-based partners to continue to build the sector to put Nevada at a very strong competitive advantage. Moving forward in terms of our phase 2 application, we'll really be focusing the efforts of this regional technology and innovation hub in 6 integrated project areas. The most important one, again, being supply chain enhancement, that continued identification of gaps within the value network and the supply chain, and then targeting of various financial and non-financial resources to support business creation, attraction, retention, and expansion efforts to close those gaps. We have a very expanded workforce development project involving about 30 of the consortium members. This includes the University of Nevada, Reno, as well as 3 community colleges, including Truckee Meadows Community College, Western Nevada College, and Great Basin College, as well as several trade associations, unions, and organized labor groups, 1 workforce development programming board, and a number of other workforce development partners really designed to work with industry to identify their workforce needs and develop a wide variety of workforce development programs, be it a training certificate program, an apprenticeship program, or a jobs clearinghouse, really designed to support continued business creation, attraction, retention, and expansion efforts. Our lithium campus and technology commercialization and entrepreneurship efforts are really designed to link the tech hub to various other lithium and EV material research being conducted at the University of Nevada and throughout other campuses of the broader Nevada system of higher education. The University of Nevada, Reno is also a recipient of a National Science Foundation Engines Type 1 Award, currently working on a Type 2 application that would again be focused on EV materials and R&D efforts, and really looking forward to working with private sector interests who are interested in utilizing the vast resources of the university and the broader system of higher education here in Nevada to support additional commercialization and entrepreneurship efforts. Again, one of the advantages of Nevada is that our community colleges and universities, including the Desert Research Institute, are all within one Nevada system of higher education, which really does facilitate a high degree of collaboration and joint scholarly, academic, and applied research designed to develop the technologies that will fuel the business creation, attraction, retention, and expansion efforts moving forward. And again, as a public institution of higher education, individual firms are very welcome to join us to work collaboratively, utilizing the lab spaces that we have, again, to focus that R&D effort on business creation, attraction, retention, and expansion efforts. In addition to that, we are also developing a comprehensive set of infrastructure and community development efforts. These also includes support of a wide range of housing development efforts, especially within the non-metro rural parts of the state that are within the tech hub, in order to support additional population growth and eventually workforce development efforts needed to fill positions as they're created. And then with 28 federally recognized tribes located within the regional tech hub here in Nevada, we're also developing a Nevada Indian or Tribal Center, really focused on STEM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics education and training, as well as focused entrepreneurship efforts, in order to really build a bridge between these private sector interests and our indigenous, tribal, and Native American communities. Certainly, we look forward to working with our consortium partners and certainly new private sector interests on further developing the technology and innovation hub here in Nevada and closing those key critical gaps. And I believe I will stay on for Q&A after the other presentations.
All right, thank you so much for the presentation, and we'll see you later at the Q&A session. 好，那我们非常感谢呢，我们这个内华达州州长办公室经济发。
Thank you for this chief, the researchers from Nevada. And next, we will, before we welcome next speaker, let's view a video. It's provided in the South Carolina Commerce Department. Let's view this video clip.
South Carolina Department of Commerce. And on behalf of Secretary of Commerce Harry Lightsey, thank you for your interest in the SC Nexus Tech Hub. I'd like to take a few minutes to tell you about this effort that will have global impacts. South Carolina is advancing the clean energy transition through the SC Nexus for Advanced Resilient Energy, or SC Nexus. SC Nexus is one of 31 regional technology and innovation hubs designated by the United States Department of Commerce's Economic Development Administration. All tech hubs are organized to quickly grow the ability to design, manufacture, and export critical technologies of the future, such as advanced energy, advanced materials, semiconductors, artificial intelligence, and automation. SC Nexus is a broad consortium of more than 35 public and private entities. Led by the South Carolina Department of Commerce, SC Nexus aims to be a global leader in advanced resilient energy by developing, testing, and manufacturing exportable electricity technologies, building our workforce with the skills necessary for global success, and creating the right ecosystem for innovation to flourish. SC Nexus includes leading research institutions like Clemson University, the University of South Carolina, and South Carolina State University in a unique partnership with the Savannah River National Laboratory, collaborating with the members across the consortium to maximize the Tech Hub's impact in South Carolina, the southeastern United States, and beyond. There are many benefits that come with the Federal Tech Hub's designation. The biggest benefit is that SC Nexus will be fully supported by the United States Department of Commerce to establish a globally competitive innovation center that can commercially develop and make products and services for domestic and international markets. The designation better positions SC Nexus and the state to lead national and global efforts to support electricity generation, resilient and digitized electricity distribution, and grid-scale storage to meet growing energy demands. The Tech Hubs program will invest directly in regions with the assets, resources, capacity, and potential to transform into globally competitive innovation centers within the next 10 years. Only the 31 designated tech hubs, like SC Nexus, may apply for funding from the United States Department of Commerce for grants that will support efforts to develop global leadership in their chosen technology sectors. Applications are due by February 29, 2024. And at SC Nexus, work is already underway to identify viable projects to include in the funding application. Example project concepts include a world-class demonstration facility or testbed providing startups access to shared facilities, a network of industry-focused workforce training programs, innovation voucher programs enabling researchers to provide technical support to small and medium-sized manufacturers, and a technology supply chain program that helps existing small manufacturers and supports supplier diversity. In seeking out this funding opportunity, SC Nexus is continuing to build partnerships with industry and research institutions to identify and deploy technologies and concepts that strengthen advanced resilient energy for people everywhere. We believe private sector companies are vital to this effort, and we look forward to exploring the many opportunities that can exist when we work together to further strengthen the global energy supply. For more information on SC Nexus, please visit sccommerce.com. Again, thank you for your interest and your time.
Now let's welcome Sam Lin, Taiwan representative, South Carolina, to share with us South Carolina Nexus for Advanced Resilient Energy.
Department of Commerce， 让我们掌声欢迎 Mr. Sam Lan。
Thank you very much, everyone. I think I'll conduct the talk in English if it's all right. Having lived and worked abroad for a long time, I actually find my mother tongue is now English, although technically the mother tongue is the language you first learn at birth, which would have been Mandarin. So I'm in a little bit of a mixed position. As mentioned, I am the representative for South Carolina Department of Commerce in Taiwan. I live in Taipei, and I've traveled multiple times now since I've started this job to South Carolina, many times with my IT colleagues that I've met at Select USA, and also representatives from various different industry and companies. Today I'm not going to talk about anything else apart from SC Nexus, and the reason is because my colleague you saw on the screen in the video just now, she's not able to join us. It's because of the time difference. I think it's probably 2 a.m. in the morning now, so I'm giving you a little bit more background about SC Nexus. So some of the information I have to say I'm about to give may be a bit repetitive. We went through it quite quickly in the video, but I'll try to shed some more background information and expand on what's already being explained. So I think Betsy already mentioned what the Tech Hub program is about. So our submission is advanced and resilient energy. And I think there's a reason why that is important for us, because we are very much a manufacturing state, manufacturing not only for the US, but for export globally. Some of our biggest companies include, and investments include BMW. They have the largest facility outside of Germany in our state, worldwide. We also have Boeing. Boeing makes streamliners there. Not in Seattle, but in our state because of flexible labor and lower costs. And also we have important industry being automotive and aviation, obviously. And even our F-16s are actually made in Greenville by Lockheed Martin. And that is also in our state. So with all of these manufacturing companies, the first question they always ask is, do you have enough cost-effective power? And then the second question they invariably ask is it low carbon, is it clean? And because of all these questions, we've thought about the future. And this is why we decided to launch the initiative SC Nexus, which is to provision for the manufacturing requirements, not only for foreign companies, but also the ones already in our state. It's a consortium of more than 30 public and private entities. It's to do with advanced resilient energy. It will probably be more nuclear focused than anything else. So it may not be renewable in the sense of United Nations definition, but it's low carbon, and it is going to be plentiful and at a very low economic cost. So working to drive the innovation to enable end-on-end resilient and sustainable energy ecosystems. And that includes the whole spectrum from generation to transmission and distribution and so on. As already mentioned, there are only 31 US Department of Commerce Economic Development Administration tech hubs, and we are one of the only ones in the southeast of the US. So for those of us that have been to South Carolina, this map will make more sense. But for those that haven't, I think the key takeaway here is that we try to include all of the state into our initiative, particularly focusing on those regions in our state that have missed out on economic development in the past. You see that we've probably done a good job. We've got about 60% of the state involved in the initiative. And this also includes a cross-state border collaboration with the state of Georgia. They've made lots of heavy investments into nuclear power, so we're working with them as well. And the other reason why that is the case is because the Savannah River Nuclear Laboratory is actually on the border area between South Carolina and Georgia. So there's a presence of that facility in both states. And here I'd just like to reiterate, unlike the previous presentation from Nevada, the purpose of our Tech Hub is to fast forward commercial deployment of early stage research technologies in energy systems. So we are looking to design, manufacture, not only produce these systems for use domestically in the US, but also export globally. And there is an opportunity here for the Taiwanese supply chain to join. I believe if you care about energy, which I believe you do, and if you are innovative, and I believe most Taiwanese businesses are, there should be a role for you and interest in this program. And this is part of the, it's more internal information about how the Tech Hub program will be assessed and evaluated. It's a scorecard system, and you see that there are different weights assigned to particular criteria. Technology, potential, and global competitiveness perhaps is the most important, the heavy-weighted factor. But there are other factors too, including for companies in Taiwan, particularly the role of the private sector, and regional coordination and partnerships. That's also important because we welcome all partners, and the impact on the economic and national security of the US. So the information is changing, but as of now, what we understand is that we as SC Nexus can compete for funding of 40 to 75 million. And there's a rough guideline about 3 to 8 supporting projects. If there are more projects, say 8, then obviously the pot of funding up to 75 million will be shared equally between those projects. If there are less successful bids and projects, then they will get more, but the funding won't exceed 75 million. As mentioned, the deadline is February 29th, 2024. If you are interested, and I am already talking to at least one Taiwanese company, they have expressed an interest, and we are already having discussions. And this is in addition to an existing investor in South Carolina, a Taiwanese company that is already in our state for over 10 years now, I believe. Dongyuan Dianji, so that's Tico Westinghouse. So the point is that we want to make our state in a better position to lead national and global efforts to support electricity generation, resilient digitized distribution, grid-scale storage, and so on. And obviously the aim is to provide future power requirements in our state. So this is a rough rundown of the application timelines. So we've already gone through the project selection phase, which lasted 5 weeks. And now these projects, having been selected, would have to be defined in a lot more detail. They'll have to design specific roles and responsibilities and designations for the different partners. This section will take about 6 weeks. And then the final deadline for submission will be at the end of February. There's a period for that of 5 more weeks. Even though the December 8th deadline has passed, I still strongly encourage anyone interested to come to me or also contact our coordinator. There's a lady's contact details, which I will share at the end. So go directly either to myself or to her, and we can see if there's an opportunity to work together. So Kelly gave some examples of the concepts and the projects that we could be developing together, and so those are repeated here, I think. Those are just ideas, so if you have something that is even more innovative that's not being even thought of, I think we would probably be willing and able to consider them too. And this is, again, more internal information just sharing for you. These are the criteria for evaluating the phase 2 proposals. And you see that the most important factors will be project quality, demonstrating ability to execute, and private sector integration. That's help from you guys here. And also important is the impact on economic and national security. And the third one, which is actually I'll ask from you, investment and policy commitments. Well, investment from you guys and policy commitments from us as state government. So this is just more information about the submission process. And the submission deadline has passed, but if you do want to still join us, it's not too late. And once again, the website for the information is scommerce.com/scnexus. And you know, we just really would like any interest and participation. And that's it. I'll take questions maybe together later on. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Simlan. Please remain on stage and please be seated. We're going to proceed to the Q&A session already, so please remain on stage. 对，我们请Simlan 台湾代表，我们直接在台上留步。接下来呢，我们就要马上进入到 panel discussion Q&A 的阶段。那马上呢，再度的。
Okay, once more time, let's invite all the speakers come up. Chris Hong, Director General MIC, to be the moderator for this panel. And the panelists, please welcome
Section Chief of AIT, and also Ms. Carol C. Tam, CCIM, representative of Texas Economic Development Connection. And also would like to welcome Dr. Frederick Steitman to join us online again. Hello, thank you so much. Can you see and hear us clearly? Yes? All right. Now I would hand over to Mr. Hong.
Thank you. 谢谢前面各位。
Thank you for the speakers.
I think now we are going to take the questions from the audience on site. So, is there any questions? 大家请问在刚刚的演讲后。
So after this speech, do you have any questions? You can raise your hand. Okay, you can also write down your question, and we will collect them from you. I have prepared some questions if we don't have any questions.
By myself, so if there no any other further questions, I think I will have the privilege, to ask the speakers for my own. Please.
I had just one question about
Hand over the microphone for you.
I was just wondering for the battery hub. Yeah, where do you in Nevada? Do you have a place where you get your raw materials? Where do you get your raw materials to work on the batteries? That would be
okay. So I think this is the question for Frederick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, please.
Well, thank you very much. Nevada has a long history of mining and natural resource extraction. We have estimated 100 to 150 years of lithium and other rare earth reserves within the state. but we also have significant deposits in gold, copper, nickel, and other precious metals and industrial minerals used in the EV manufacturing process. So really, again, Nevada is a one-stop shop in terms of the raw materials that go into production, to production, and then recycling as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Patrick. Any other question? So I think, here, please. Okay, I think this is the questions for Betty. Yeah, they are asking about, can you 取消或降低
Cancel or reduce the application fee for Select USA.
Any accounts, discount for Taiwanese companies? Very practical question.
I'm married to a Taiwanese man, so I know that Taiwanese like a good discount. I don't blame you, but now you're asking me a question that I'm afraid I cannot answer. I don't have the power to offer this discount. I'm afraid I'll have to ask Secretary Raimundo if we can have a discount, but I don't have a lot of hope for that. There are, I think if you want a good deal, okay, it's cheaper, I'll put it the way a Taiwanese consumer would prefer. It's cheaper to fly to Washington and meet 50 states instead of flying to 50 states. See? That's a deal.
Yeah, very, very brilliant answer. Okay, any other question? Okay.
Yes, thank you, Richard. There is an early bird special, see, as a discount. Heidi, when does the early bird expire? Before January 31. See, step right up, ladies and gentlemen. Before January 31st, you can get your discount. That's up. Okay.
Great. Okay, any other question? Okay, I think I got a question for Carol and Sam. Yeah, and you mentioned a lot of your promotion projects, etc., in Texas and South Carolina. Yeah, but the question that I have is, what are the industries or supply chains do you think that are suitable to invest in your state? 在对你们所提到的这些产业里面
In your industry, what do you think Taiwan's supply chain, which industries are suitable in Texas and South Carolina to invest? And what is the reason
the Taiwanese industry can play in your state?
Okay, I'm gonna go first. So my name is Carol Tam, CCIM, and I'm actually a representative of Texas EDC, Economic Development Connection. I'm actually a licensed broker. So what type of industry? We welcome all, okay? Anything. And as long as you have a desire, you want to be part of a Made in USA, Made in Texas, we welcome you all. As far as the criteria, once you go to my website, techbrokerage.com, you will select the green button, say Texas EDC survey, and that's where you fill in your wish list, like make your dream come true. We will make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you. So how about Sam?
Thank you. We also welcome all industries, big and small. But there are certain industries which are very suitable for our state, and I think electric vehicle production and also electric vehicle batteries in particular. And also generally manufacturing, anything that's manufacturing related, we would welcome. So I just want to say something about the battery, the electric vehicle battery industry. I think our friend from Nevada mentioned the company Redwood Materials. They do recycling of used electric vehicle batteries. Now, the first plant has already started construction in Nevada, I believe, but they have plans for a second one in our state. So there will be scope for more than one facility in the US for major industrial grade battery recycling of electric vehicle batteries.
Great, thank you, Sam. And any other further question to raise on site? No? Since we are already running out of the time, actually, we are use the second section's time. So I think we are going to close this section. And thank you to all the speakers. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. 谢谢.
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thank you so much for the informative presentation and sharing. Thank you so much. 我们谢谢舞台上的主持人和我们的语坛人，也请先回座。Please kindly resume to your seats. Thank you so
After the U.S. session, we're going to have the Invest Mexico session, where we invite a number of Mexican officials, experts, and Taiwan businessmen in Mexico to share with you their successful experiences and the unique advantages of investing in Mexico, as well as the relevant incentives in the Mexican state of Chihuahua. This aims to give you a more comprehensive understanding of the overall investment environment in Mexico, and we encourage you to use the question sheet to write in your questions. And during the Q&A session, the panelists will answer the questions. Now we would like to invite the moderator, Mr. Xu Mingsong, the negotiation representative of the Executive Yuan. Chairman Lee, and then TEEMA, the directors and supervisors, and Mr. Martin Torres, and ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. For me, it's my honor to be part of this Invest Mexico Forum. First, I'd like to ask every one of you, how many of you have been to Mexico? Please raise your hand. Oh, well, it's not as many as those who've been to Texas. So the general impression of Mexico is not very clear. According to the Spanish custom, is the tiempo de siesta, the afternoon napping time. But you have to bring up your energy. You have, since we have the speakers of the officials from Mexico, from Chihuahua. So this will save you 100,000 Taiwan dollars to travel to Mexico. So invest in Mexico now is the trend. So please bring up your energy. If you need coffee, just drink some, so you can stay focused within this short 1 hour. So you can listen to the business, the experience of the Taiwan business, so it can really help your business, and you can have a better understanding of the development. As I'm involved in international affairs, we have to be very, we have to be very sensitive of what is happening around the world. There's a book called "Who Moved My Cheese." It is a famous writer called Spencer Johnson. He said that actually, if we in every time there will be political economic changes in the world. I was in Mexico from 2017 to 2022. when I served in the public, the government agency before the NAFTA when it became effective, I led a delegation to the U.S. Mexico border from San Diego to Divana. When I was entering the Mexico, I saw there's the land was, I saw the very barren land, but it was 30 years ago. But after that, I was sent to Guatemala in 2005 and 2006. There's a Taiwan businessman in Nicaragua. He said that when he woke up, there there are many textile factories from Taiwan in Nicaragua, and they all went away. And later I learned that they went to Cambodia. Later, when I went to Brazil in 2008, Brazil was one of the BRICS countries. No, that they have the BRICS have the attention of the world. And after that, I went to Mexico. There was I had a chance to go to the U.S. Mexico border. Even there was a trade war raised by Trump. The Taiwan business there were having a difficult time operating. They did not expect the COVID-19 geopolitical situation change. As now the U.S. But now the U.S. Mexico border has attracted many foreign business, including the Taiwan business. I'd like to thank Chairman Lee, which have a very keen sense from the 2019 up to now. He insisted that to help the Taiwan business to understand what's going on in the world. With the support of Chairman Lee for the doing business in Mexico, and now it's time for the Chihuahua officials to share the business opportunities in Taiwan business in Mexico. So I think I would just give the time to the Taiwan business in Mexico there, and also so they are very representative of the Taiwan business in Mexico and sharing their experiences there. And Mr. Liao can also provide us the insight from perspective of small and middle enterprises. So yeah, thank you. Thank Mr. Xu for his remarks. Now we will let's welcome Mr. Chen. Let's welcome Ark Chen, General Manager Inventec, Mexico. We'll share with us successful experiences in Mexico. Chairman Lee, Mr. Martin Torres, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm Ark Chen, the site manager of Inventec in Mexico. I'd like to I spent 8 years in Mexico. Chairman, when Chairman was in my company, he sent me to Mexico. It's a rare experience that Chairman Lee gave me this opportunity. So, for the quick overview of the Mexico. Mexico is a country with 2 million kilometers of land compared to Taiwan, which is a 36,000 kilometers only. It is much larger than Taiwan. It has shared border with the U.S. for 3,000 kilometers, and with the population of 130 million, including 40 millions of Mexicans that live in the U.S. So the relation between Mexico and the U.S. is very close. It is a Catholic religion country, and the family value is the priority for its people, which is different from Asian people who like to make money. They just enjoy life, the family life. 50 years ago, Mexico started the manufacturing activity in Chihuahua. For the Maquila Christian. For the background, the mayor was Bermudez. He came to Kaohsiung to visit the processing zone, and he liked the idea and brought the idea back to Mexico and started the export processing zone in Mexico. And the labor is ruled by the labor law, which has the free to walk rule. The workers can leave anytime as they want. Unlike Asia, you have you need to have provide the lead time, 1 month lead time before you leave. So in Mexico we have the agent system. So for to respond to this kind of free to go rule to avoid the problems. For the salary, it has divided the border area salary and inter-area zone salaries, because border is close to the U.S. It's more so it's the salary is higher. So why they divided the border and interior zone? The border has its own advantages. Border area has its advantage there, which include it is more it was industrialized earlier. They have a higher level of industrialization, and the workers can meet the requirements. They understand the working instructions, and they have more bilinguals. The foreign investor, we need to hire bilinguals. It is easier for us for communication. For example, the engineers there, local engineers, can speak English. This is very and close near U.S., which is also very important. And the transportation cost in the border zone, usually we import materials from Asia or other parts of the world through the sea road or the air road. Through the land transportation in the U.S., which is safe and convenient, and the total cost is lower. And we import the material from the U.S. to Mexico. For the interior area, I will talk about it later. As I mentioned earlier, it had the border area has better skilled workers. And the work culture focused on labor because of the free to work system. The employees, if we pay them more for them to work overtime, they would like we think they would like it, but it's not. So we need to operate with the idea of caring for the employees. So in Asia, as long as we pay the bonus, the overtime payment, the workers will be willing to work overtime. But in Mexico, if you the bonus or the overtime pay would not get them to work overtime. Once once I was willing to pay the double the wage and the double the bonus, but actually, but nobody wanted to work overtime. So we so we need to make the arrangement in advance in our operation and do not rely on the overtime pay. And in the border area, we can find some skilled American employees. Our employees live in the United States, and work during the day in Mexico, in that area. The border area is also close to the I-10 expressway, which is very convenient for the imports. In the border area, there's an incentive that since we export our products to the U.S., once the imported products are processed, they are exported through the highways in the U.S., which has lower transportation cost. The concern is that the labor cost, the basic labor cost, is higher than the interior area. For the interior area states, the main advantages include lower salaries. Each state has in this area has good education, and there are more direct workers available. But the concerns is that because there's some security issues in the highway. If you have some high cost of products transported in Mexico, there's a risk, and it's less easy to export to the U.S. from this area. So if we set up plants in the interior, then you're doing a domestic business. For example, like the auto plants, usually they're located in the central part of the country. This is a summary which shows the main industrial cities of Mexico, including Tijuana, which is located in northeastern part of Mexico, and the land price you can see here, and the main industry, Tijuana, the land price is 120 to 150 dollars per square meter, and it's the main industry includes the automotive, medical, and the population 1 million. A minimum wage is 375 US dollars per day. And also Monterrey, these two cities are close, are on the border. They have the same minimum wages for the interior area, and there's Chihuahua and Guadalajara. This is which has the electronic industry, which developed early, and also Querétaro for automated. Torreon is a big city in the central part of Mexico, and Monterrey is in the northeastern Mexico, which is the richest city in Latin America. The Juarez, where we are located, well, there are several Taiwan businesses there, we have the Taiwan Business Association, include the 20 something Taiwan businesses. The main companies include the Win-Win, Inventec, Pegatron, those electronic companies. They're located in the central point of the North America. They're in a it is in a very good location. It's the same distance to the different parts of the states. This is the reason why the electronic companies are located in Juarez. If these are the recommendations to start operation in Mexico, if you want to build a plant, there's some license you have to obtain. Basically, there are three levels of government for obtaining the land. You have the approval of the city government. For water, you need to have the approval from the state government, and the power is for you need to have the approval from the federal government. So you'd have to build relations with these governments. We work with the TEEMA chairman and Mr. Xu, who's the representative of the Taiwan office that we talked to the Mexico government for 3 years, wishing that there's can be a one-stop service for the Taiwan business there. And met the Minister of Economy of Mexico, and he has adopted a one-stop service. There's a link where you can use. You can have the assistance from the Mexican government. For the main maquiladora benefits or burden, in addition to the which you have to give benefits to the workers, there are many benefits. I won't go into detail. That the cost of the benefits is about 50% of the salary. So if the basic salary is 375, the labor, direct labor, should be so the wage is the total. The cost is 1.5 times of the basic salary. For the operation recommendation, you have to for the facility management. You need to look at security, safety, and city part certification. Mexico's environment is more complicated. Security is something very basic. The laws and regulations of Mexico are more or lax. So we need to take care of the security of the plants, which should not rely on the government. We need to have our own our own safety measures, security measures, and Mexico also have a very high standard for safety. If there's violation, we need to do the correction immediately. Since we export products, we need to obtain the CT pad to meet the requirement of U.S. Homeland Security Department. We can have the CT pad, then we can have the fast passing of the custom. So for the employee management, it has to be fair treatment to the employees. In Asia, we've emphasized the bonus, but in Mexico, in our company, we do not provide a bonus for quality or performance, which can cause contention, disputes, and lead to strikes. in Mexico, the workers' union is required, but in the border area, it's not the case. If you can take good care of the employees, you don't necessarily need a union. It really depends on the companies, not the employees. If we can take good care of them, they don't have the desire to form a union because they need to pay the fee and they need to participate in the union activities. So basically, we do not provide discriminatory incentives to the employees. We do it to all the employees. We do it. We reward the whole department, not in the but not the individual workers. And we also need to respect the workers in Mexico. This is the labor law. According to labor law, you cannot yell at the workers. You need to have a good communication. And in Mexico, teamwork is very important. The Mexican culture emphasizes the teamwork. If you can really cover these 3 points, and then you won't have a problem. When I first came to the company, came to Mexico, there are many problems. In the beginning, we had a hard time. We need to resolve many issues. But a few years ago, there's a customer. It is a cloud service, was a cloud service provider. Recently, they asked us to set up a plan in the U.S. Actually, they have a plan in the U.S. Later, after the communication with the customer, they after seeing the technical skills, the quality of the workers, they were satisfied, and then they found it hard to find the same kind of employees in the U.S. They and the customer was willing to have us produce the products for them in Mexico. For logistic, and you need the license like Inmex for temporary import. It's for a tax-free. It is a tax-free, tariff-free license, and Prosec is same for EVIPE. It allows you to claim back VAT. So if you want to set up plants in Mexico, you need to apply for these licenses. But if you are about but if you you only need to this license for export. Thank you, Mr. Chen, for your insight. Um,
Perfect. Cool. You may proceed. Thank you.
Okay, good. I guess it's now my turn.
Yes, please. I don't think he can hear me, but yes, go ahead. Go
So,
ahead.
thank you very much, first of all, to Richard Lee for the kind invitation to be with you today. My name is Sergio Gomez Lora. I head the Mexican Business Council representation to the United States. I am based in Washington, D.C., and today I have a presentation that I would like to share with us. So let me see. Please tell me if you can see.
Yeah, that's coming out.
My presentation.
Almost. Yes, we can see it right now.
You can see it. Perfect. So today I would like to talk to you about Mexico as a platform to export to the US. I want to explain to you why have we been so successful in attractive investment from all over the planet, mostly investment to export to the US market. And there are several reasons, but let me start with two. Number one, our border with the United States. We have over 3,000 kilometers of border with the US. So you have an idea, this is the same distance as from Madrid, Spain, to St. Petersburg in Russia. This is the size of the border between Mexico and the United States. It is the most dynamic, economically, the most dynamic border in the world. There is no more economic activity between two countries through a border than through the Mexico-US border. We have over 54 border crossing ports of entry between Mexico and the US, and communicated by highways, railroads, and even ports. So moving goods from Mexico to the United States is like moving goods like within any country. And let me tell you why. And one of the most important reasons for that is the free trade agreement that Mexico, the United States, and Canada have. Today, it is called the USMCA. Before this, it was called the NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement. And this instrument is 30 years old. So I understand TEEMA is going to be 75 years old next year. Well, next year, we will have the 30th birthday of free trade between Mexico and the US. 30, number 30 anniversary. And why is this agreement so important? Well, this agreement, on the one side, it eliminates all tariffs between Mexico and the US. So there are no import duties for any good. Not a single good that is produced in Mexico that complies with the USMCA rules of origin pays a single dollar in duties. But probably more important than that, it is that we have permanent rules for our open economy, for trade, services, and investment in Mexico. These are not rules, not Mexican rules. These are not rules that are applied, that are established by the Mexican government. These are tri-national rules. These are rules established by an international agreement that was approved by the Congresses of Mexico, US, and Canada. and that Mexico is bound to. And so the rules of the game for investors in Mexico is not Mexican law, it's not Mexican constitution, is the USMCA, is this international treaty. And why this is so valuable? Because this provides certainty to investors and entrepreneurs, exporters and importers. They know that we have rules that are there, no matter which government we have, no matter which political party we have. These are rules that are internationally bound, that are made with our most important trading partner, and there are dispute settlement mechanisms that are binding, that will force all the USMCA members to abide by the rules of the agreement. So these two elements make Mexico special. These two elements make Mexico like no other country in the planet. No other country in the planet can provide these advantages to investors. The largest border in terms of a developing country with a developed country. With Canada, Mexico has the largest border with the most important market in the economy. But this is strengthened with this agreement that provides Mexican investors in Mexico, a special treatment when they go to the US. What has been the result of this? What has been the result after 30 years of free trade with the US? The result is that today, for every dollar that the United States spends abroad, for every dollar that the United States buys abroad, 17 cents are bought from goods in Mexico. Mexico is today the #1 supplier of the US market. No country in the planet sends more goods to the United States than Mexico. Not even China, not even Canada. We are the #1 supplier of the US market. And the two main reasons are our strategic location. This is the only competitive advantage for Mexico that is permanent. No other country in the planet but Canada can compete with this competitive advantage. And the other one is this very powerful agreement that has rules in so many areas that goes from trading goods, services, investment, IPR, dispute settlement, really a very powerful instrument that governs the way the economic relation will go with the US. As you can see in this next slide, the trade within North America has exploded. Before NAFTA entered into force 30 years ago, we had a trade that it was $400 billion between Mexico, Canada, and the US. Today, we are trading a year over $1.4 trillion. We export to the United States $54 million per hour. Each hour, we send $54 million in goods to the United States. Every year, we export to the US 6.3 times what Taiwan exports to the US. This is the intensity of the Mexico-US relationship. Lately, because of the trade war between US and China, we have increased our share of the US market. We have grown. China has lost in the past years almost 9% of US market. This share has been spread among several countries. Mexico has been one of the top winners. We have increased our share over 2 points, 2 percentage points. So we were a little bit over 14% of US market share in terms of imports. We are now close to 17%. Taiwan, by the way, has also one share. Taiwan is now having 3% of US market. The economic relation we have with the United States is based on industrial share of production. We have divided, we have split in North America the production of the key industrial goods. We are, the best example is the autos, which is one of the top exports, are probably the best example of a integrated sector in North America. We are buying over $70 billion in auto parts. We are exporting to the US every year almost $40 billion. We are exporting over $30 billion in auto parts, but we are also buying from the US a lot of auto parts. Some parts for cars can travel, can cross the border even 7 or 8 times before they are finally assembled on a car, because that is the way companies have decided to share production, and the only reason that this can be made is for our geographic location. We are top exporters of data processing machines, motor vehicles, auto parts, trucks, medical equipment, and we are now moving very strongly also in the aerospace production. This is how the industry is organized in Mexico. The automotive industry is spread all over the country from the center to the north. Basically, most of the major OEMs that produce cars are established in Mexico for a long time ago, and they came to Mexico with most of their tier ones. So the main OEMs, car manufacturers, are established in Mexico in different regions, and they are established there with the tier one. A great opportunity for tier 2 and tier 3 companies that would like to participate in these clusters is open now. The electronics industry is the same. Chihuahua is a success story for the Taiwanese firms, and as Art Chen has explained, there are several Taiwanese firms already in Chihuahua, but the electronic industry is also spread through the country. Here you can see several locations where the major electronic industry from Asia, Europe, and the US have established manufacturing operations in Mexico. I would like to conclude my presentation sharing with you that the Mexican Business Council believes very strongly that today we have a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Taiwanese investors. And the reasons for this is very simple. We are today having a combination of factors that are aligning the stars to make an opportunity that was never before in terms of new investment in Mexico. On the one side, the COVID-19 and the disruption of the supply chain has forced a lot of major firms to reconsider their supply chain, and they are looking now to near shore to shorten those supply chains. They cannot anymore have or rely on supply chains that are far away. They need to have at least some redundancy and to be protected in case of crisis. The war between China and the US has also forced US suppliers to diversify their supply that was before coming from China. And last but not least, the geopolitical conflicts with in other areas have shown that North America is probably one of the most secure regions for investment, where we have plenty of energy, where we have food security, and where we can supply in a short distance the most important market in the planet. Related to this, and the new development, recent development, is that the US government has put together a strategy to reshore to North America production that was before concentrated in Asia. The US president has indicated that his government is not comfortable, feels very vulnerable into relying heavily in faraway supply of key strategic inputs. And there is a very strong effort in the US government. The best example is the CHIPS Act, but it's not the only one, where the US government is putting funds and efforts to develop economic activities in North America that have never been here, and that in the past North America has relied on Asia for the supply. And finally, the three heads of governments of Mexico, US, and Canada have agreed to launch coordinated efforts to bring those supply chains to North America. So, Taiwanese investors, you already have a very interesting, successful success story in Chihuahua. Your firms in that area of the country have grown interestingly, but in our opinion, this is only a small example of the largest opportunity that Taiwanese investment have. This combination of the geopolitical conflicts, the effort of the United States to do more in North America, and the health crisis that have disrupted supply chain are forcing to make a dramatic change in the way industry was organized in North America. It is a great opportunity for you to participate in this effort. I like to commend Richard Lee for his vision and his understanding of geopolitics and business opportunities, and his leadership to look into Mexico. I strongly encourage you to be close to Richard, to follow his efforts to work in Mexico, to talk to him about a potential visit to Mexico in March, and try to take full advantage of this one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sergio Gomez Lara, for the informative presentation. Thank you. 那接下来呢，我们马上就要紧接着欢迎伟创墨西哥厂赖玉明总经理来为我们做介绍。掌声欢迎赖总经理。
Welcome from Wintron, General Manager Lai, to share with us. Chairman, the delegates, and colleagues, good afternoon, everyone. Afternoon. Usually, you are exhausted already. It's me, Jackie Lai from Winstrong. I was responsible for the global manufacturing. This time, I play a role in Mexico because it is a very important location. If you look at the Today Weekly magazine, the strongest role with Winstrong, Inventec, or whoever, strongest role are all concentrated in Mexico. So I will use several pages to explain to you about the Winstrong, about the whole group, and what kind of companies. As you can see, the whole group, including Winstrong Corporation, Winstrong NetWeb. NetWeb is the biggest wireless communication company, and recently we also want to invest in Mexico. And Win Corporation to provide the cloud services. Lower left is the Winstrong software providing the software services. Winstrong basically covering 25 sites globally, and mainly top 10 ICT brands, including OEM, ODM companies, including Fortune 500 global companies. In the past, Winstrong Mexico mostly focusing on computing products on the left, including desktop, the all-in-one, consumer types. Consumer types usually its fluctuation is high, so life cycle is pretty short. Gradually move to central, like enterprise and network it. These kind of products, including even text, talk about server networking. Second from the left is industry and automotive products. These are our important development. Winstrong global locations from R&D to manufacturing, and also covering after-sales services, including in Dallas, in Mexico City, and Brazil. We have the locations, primarily providing cradle to cradle. Other than manufacturing, we also value ESG, environmental issues. So, including lithium battery, how to do the recycling, that's also a very important part of it. This is Winstrong Mexico's overview. The whole facility, you can see, there's a central park type. It's not easy to find a green land, so because water resources are pretty precious. So cheaper ones are the electricity and the natural gas. It's like same like Texas. So this is one unique condition. This, as you can see, the geographic environment, because Winstrong in Mexico is over 25 years. We are the closest to the border. Only 5 minutes cross the borderline. So most of the companies, they went to Mexico, first location. They visited Winstrong, and we also try to share our experience in Mexico. And from 1996, from the El Paso with the wind. Okay, from ASUS and or from a desk all-in-one to TV, Acer computer was there, and from cell phone all the way to 2009, we started to take the PCBA of a server. People thought it's not possible to do a complicated server in Mexico, but we started to do that, and we made it. So, including logistics, whether to west coastal line or east coastal line, it's 800 miles in distance. So, geographic location is very good. With El Paso, we are a twin city, and El Paso established a hub. That's a finished school hub or raw material hub for import-export logistics. Wistron's campus. Actually, we focus on next decade. So people may think we invest in Mexico. For what purpose? Actually, it's not just for the near-term benefit, but how we can sustainably to develop in Mexico, and on one hand, providing customers good quality service. Also, we hope to expand the pie. So you may think Inventec, Pecatron, are we competing to each other? Actually, we are together in the city to expand the pie. So we always talk about how we create ecosystems other than the surrounding facilities, components, parts, companies. In this company, they established spare parts V&I and the technical service center. So make the pie bigger, so we have more technology and services, and suppliers can come to the city. As you can see on the right-hand side, the central facility is about 23 hectares. On the left and upper, in recent 2-3 years, we acquired the land. So the main purpose came here is to buy lands, construct factories, building the production capacities. So the whole process spending energy and manpower. So I would like to thank Chihuahua State government's support. Other than the basic facilities, the utilities and gas are also very important. So the infrastructures for the operation in Mexico, these are very important things. And also you can see on the left-hand side, upper left, because in different phases we build the factories. Every time they come over to visit, they see, hi, you have a new hotel here? No, that's not a hotel. That's our new factory building. It's 2 stories. And for the purpose, for the environmental friendly, to have a green building. So this year, next year, first quarter, we will start to all use them. In terms of technology, we focus on HPC, high-performance computing products, including automotive, these kind of products, and the GPU products. So little by little, we do this deployment in talent. We work with UACJ, UTCJ, these schools to cooperate, to have agreement, including providing intern, etc. So that maybe you think talents. Once talents go to the enterprises still need to offer a series of training, because in manufacturing processing, the systems, they are quite different. So how to enhance internal training, that is very important. And of course, other than acquiring land, why I said including the development for the future 1 decade, we already getting ready for that. Also, talking about culture, Archie talked about giving a bonus. Yes, that's right. It doesn't work giving out a bonus. Mexico people would like to drink Coca-Cola. Cola is different from the Americas. Cola in Mexico is full with the sugar, so that people come to Mexico, they would like to buy Mexican's cola. In training, they provide mineral water, cola, coffee, and Sprite. They will not take any others, but cola will be taken all of a sudden, so that people like to drink that. That's the best way to increase the productivity. It's not just giving a bonus. Bonus is just intangible things. So in Mexico, say hello, wave hands. They start to say hello to wave hands, moving every day, including the door guard. They just say hello to you, and the cleaning janitors, they will also do so. So they will hug with me. This is a basic manner. So on the surface, of course, we think we need to be more patient, but just like Archie said, on the northern part of it, more people speak English, so that a lot of colleagues, they think that their English getting better now, because I frequently tell my Asian colleagues, it's not your English is no good because the environment is no good. In here, your English will be improved, because every day you need to use the English language to communicate. It, of course, Spanish and English mixed together. So in this environment, listen for a long time, you can improve your language skills. So that's very good strength in here. In Mexican, they are pretty optimistic. They just live at this moment. So look at the supermarket. It's closed already, and they will just this line is closed. They will go to another line to wait. So that they're pretty polite and friendly and optimistic. So I think that work employees are very friendly here, including, of course, appearances. They will use some cologne, perfume. Those are the basic ones. And of course, we have some differences of the culture. Like Archie said, we should try not to condemn the employees publicly. That's not suitable. In terms of the time, we need to pay attention. For instance, as Manea, as Luego, they are not so sure about that. Maybe just see you tomorrow, or see you at what time. That's it. Family, they are very much value family life and set that as a priority. So overtime, etc., how we make arrangement, we need to know about this. And also, Mexico is the mother type of a system, and like the Mother's Day, like how to prevent breast cancer, how to do the breasting. We have done a lot of this kind of events. Annual leisure activities. First half we have more holidays. Second half we have fewer, including Mother's Day, Children's Day, Independence Day, etc. And of course, we have some we have Christmas, or we have the Thanksgiving, and we will do this kind of decoration. Every fourth year, we have this World Cup. Then you know, wow, this company will arrange 2 hours for the whole company watch the game. Very important. Okay, and the World Cup we need to watch, and so we also should participate in this. Strong's employees, about 5,000, including weighing. We are on the same facility, including the supervisors. They are pretty senior, and the turnover rate is only 3 to 5%. Some companies could be higher. We also promote a buddy system. Buddy system is that the new employees, they are not familiar with the systems or salary scales. We have the facilitators for that. So the turnover rate is low. Yeah. And how to retain the talents, how to create a family type of work team. That's very important. Also, 25 years now, how we can respect the local culture and tradition. And a lot of employees, they value learning and growth. So we also provide a lot of learning curriculums. So the employees can continue to develop, also, of course, also including some teams. Every Friday, we would try to find in this week some small achievements to celebrate this team and to say what we have done, some good things. So importantly, we will allow the teams in each week to feel the sense of achievements. So we would create this kind of environment. And also, if you have seen this weekly today, every time they ask, where am I says Wallace. So Wallace's impression, if you Google that, you see some negative things. But in Wallace, I lived in there for a year and a half. The past 2 years, I also ran Wallace International Marathon. Every Sunday, I ran in Central Park. I jog over there. Many places in Wallace are pretty good. So I do hope that we can turn Wallace into the science and technology town. So I do hope that with these big companies in Wallace, to make Wallace to become a high-tech town, that's my sharing. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lai from Strong, Mexico, local experience. Next, we invite Mr. Liao to share with us about the successful experiences in Mexico. Okay. I appreciate Chairman and Martin, long-time friend. I think the next I will use Chinese Mandarin to share with you about this. Of course, English, no problem. Spanish, no problem. I should say that in Mexico, 17 years now. In 17 years, I cannot learn much about Spanish, but several things are important. Last time I shared with you about why I am in Mexico. I should say that, let me say that basically considering business in Mexico, because by chance, by affinity, 18 years I work in mainland China. Company was doing packaging because I studied in US and went to Canada. And then later on, I joined this company. I knew that this is doing both packaging material. It's an environmental thing. So we think that the packaging material, okay, they say you speak Mandarin? Yes. You speak English? Yes. Because I speak English, so that basically, just like Strong, Foxconn, we are their suppliers. So after I joined this company, because Taiwan needs a spirit, so drives us. Where are the customers? We will go that place. So we contact directly our end users HP through 8 months' time, contact with them and teach them what was the environmental packaging material. Then eventually they were interested. So not starting from China. So if you want to do this, you can go with a global. So like become global supply chains.
Okay, are you gonna go to Mexico? 你要不要去墨西哥?
So I never thought of go to Mexico. So I said, okay, sure. so I would go by myself. That's the experience of SME. So several things. Let me say why I started to go to Mexico, because SMEs, we were not afraid of anything. Go to Mexico. I thought Mexico was pretty romantic, but then I went there. It was nothing there. 18 years ago, Boris, it was nothing. Basically, it was just barren. So you saw the factory. Wistron was there. Wistron was very early. The same year, Inventec went there. So I went to find factory buildings just like Arch, who is the chair of the Taiwan Commerce. So Bermuda, from Wars, you're familiar with Bermudas, 30, 40 years, who came to Taiwan to learn. So offshore OEM experience. So that at that time I approached him, who welcomed me because he was already 80-some years old. He said, "Oh, you're from Taiwan? You know, I went to Taiwan." So I'm very happy to introduce where he was in Taiwan, how many times per year, and he knew who. But to me, the names are very remote. But to me, he was very friendly. So I thought I went to this foreign country. I wanted to develop a new business, and relatively, he made me feel that I could try. So I signed a contract in Bermuda Industrial Park. For make a long story short, a Taiwanese businessman, just like I said, and basically you can look at the past. These things, many information. At that time, I get the information from Mr. Xi. I put into on this website. So basically, Taiwan currently, basically having about 1.15 billion US dollar. But this is a very I think invest. I'm from Canada, so because USMCA, NAFTA, because we thought it was a chance. So also Taiwan, many American companies, especially Taiwanese companies, registered there. They invest. So this number is much far lower than the actual investment from Taiwanese people. Just like on the map, we find out basically what I have some important highlights here. These are the major deployment locations in Mexico. Every state, several points. First, you know very well, Tijuana. Tijuana, basically in the borderline, up is San Diego is up to it. San Diego, then Tijuana, then Chihuahua. Chihuahua is our state. This state, we have a U.S. is El Paso in Texas, but it's in between the white lines. That's Sonora, and up to that is a New Mexico state. So we have a New Mexico representative here. So we cover 3 points: New Mexico, Texas, and Mexico. So the scale is bigger in that location. And on the other side, we have different Taiwanese businessmen. You can refer to this. Next page is like Guanajuato, Nuevo Leon. Nuevo Leon is a place where it's like Monterrey, like Quanta. The 5 electronic big companies, Quanta, I tell them, come to Wallace. They said, you're here. I want to go to some other places. So we hope that because Taiwanese companies, 5 big electronic companies concentrate on Chihuahua, so I hope that we should make it like a cluster, like Jackie said, how we can form a cluster. Because I'm an SME, I went there early, and by chance, I could become the chairman of the Taiwanese Commerce Chamber. So the Wistron's general manager left, went to India. Who went to India? Before he left, he hoped that anything you can make the Taiwan's Commerce Chamber to a better place. I'm not sure if I did right or wrong, but from SME's viewpoint to look at how I can deal with Mexican government. So big companies, they hope big companies coming in. The biggest disadvantage with straw is you have a big enterprise. Where is your supply chain? So I do hope that, especially the people who are not entering into Mexico, you have a chance to enter Mexico. It's risky though, but it's very fun. Give a simple story. Martin heard about this. My name's Chi Hong Liao. This joke, I think, 5 years ago, in the same place, I also had a seminar. I told them, my name's Chi Hong Liao. I did not speak Spanish in the time. I only speak English. Every time cross border, they look at my passport. Chi Hong, Chi Hong, Chi Hong, Qingao. I'm not sure. What do you know about Qingao? Qingao is fucker. So it's not too hard to translate. Fucker, it's you. I says, no. My name's Chi Hong, not Qigao. Oh, don't be Qiyong. What is Qiyong? Go figure it out. Qiyong is crying baby. So if you don't know what is fucker, I teach you what is crying baby. Qiyong. So I know Qiyong. So Qinggong means pardon. You're good. So this is the second time I tell you this joke, but turn around, you can think Mexico is very friendly. Even the border patrol, they will say, I'm holding Canadian passport. They say, you cannot be a Canadian. I look at them. You're Mexican. How can I become American? That's how I become a Canadian. We're the same. So I said, anytime if you're friendly, treat them. They would be friendly back to you. So look at Maquiadola. Maquiadola, basically, I focus on this borderline. I said that Tijuana, Tijuana, it's located underneath California, when the center Chihuahua, it's underneath Texas, and then we have Nuevo Leon. Nuevo Leon is Monterrey, and then Reynosa. From Monterrey to Reynosa, it's about 1.5 hours driving, but that highway basically is a death highway, very dangerous. Daytime, afternoon, nobody suggests you use that road. So some roads are pretty dangerous. Daytime is okay. Nighttime, not to use that road. But anyway, some big economic corridors. This is big. This borderline, you can see geographic locations, some black points, so-called Maquiadola clusters. So Tijuana. Many people may think Tijuana. I went to Mexico. I was select where Tijuana is very convenient because a lot of electronics companies in the beginning, because they have ports on the lower right. I show the ports. Other than the local international airports, and in San Diego there's an airport, and also they have seaports. And I put on the Long Beach at the bottom. Why Long Beach? Because basically the importing ports from U.S. through borderline to Mexico. So here I put a Long Beach right here. Long Beach is very convenient. And Chihuahua City, Chihuahua State actually, in the North Mexican border. I want to emphasize this place. It is a border between U.S. and Mexico, but somehow why I select there? Because it's in the center. U.S. El Paso, that means the path. In the ancient time, it's like the path and like a station. It's a part of the horse station, so very important location. So that's a good location. That's why a lot of Taiwanese people select this place like a port. Basically 6. Long Beach I also put in because one thing I want to say, because we live in, I will talk about Monterrey later. Why I will say why Monterrey is no good, because to borderline takes about 6 hours, 5 to 6 hours to go to American border.
To go to the nearest big city, San Antonio. 所以加起来是要
So put together 6 hours. El Paso 6 hours. We can go from north to New Mexico, capital of the New Mexico state. El Santa Fe. So it's very convenient. Drive there only 4 hours. To west 6 hours. To Phoenix. So whatever. Juarez. It's convenient because it's a local airport. So from Mexico to fly direct to any Mexican cities. I mean, El Paso is not big, no, not big. From east to west, it's about 30-some miles. That's about it. But the population there at about 400, 500,000. Now it's 700,000, 800,000. But Walrus is about 2 million population. It's a twin city. So why put Long Beach here? Because this U.S. railroad is very complicated. However, it's very convenient too. It goes to New Mexico, Santa Teresa. That's where our location is. So from here, from Long Beach, offload, go to the train, go to Santa Teresa, go to the border, and then it's very convenient. So it's the very important thing. El Paso, there's an international airport, and anyway, it doesn't have the international airline, but it goes to any domestic cities in the United States. I missed one place. Any place has a bridge. El Paso, another strength is in Juarez, the four bridges from Mexico to Mexico to U.S. It's very important. The Montreal, as I said, the bad thing is the geographic location. It's a place suitable for people to live, but the living conditions no good. You set a factory there because basically going to north, straight up, San Antonio, and Austin, and Dallas. That's a highway all the way up. So that's the convenient thing. Tesla and some big companies, why you said in Texas? Because it has a very lot of inlands, because good to live in there, so you work there, also very convenient, but cost will be high. Only 4 ports, no 5 ports, not like others. So that's the disadvantage. It has a sea freight. It's very convenient. So population and cost of living is simple. Comparing with 3 places: Tijuana 1.3 million, Stillwater 1.13, Monterey is 1.2. Cost living index, just like it's a cost living, lower the better, because of course it's lower, it's simpler. Quality of life index higher is better. So that's better to live there. So comparing with these places, the central point is the best. So every company has different customers and different decisions, different. So that's only for your reference. This is the place I talk about in Tijuana. It's a very old border city because it's by the seaport. So it's convenient. Relatively, like Juarez, you can select from US or from Mexico to there. It's not difficult. It's easy. Monterey, you cannot from west to east, so can only go by sea to the Epeto and to there. So only 2 ports. So I highlight this for you, and you can see that as to how you can make decision, make the selection. It depends on where customers are. That's how you select. And the key is to select the right place. Most important right now, taking Juarez. I am there, so I know Monterey has a big city, good universities. Tijuana has a Juarez is catching up. So Chihuahua, later on the state representative will tell you more about Chihuahua, what kind of advantage for the investment. Overall, like the chairman says, the TEEMA, they have a cooperation with the federal union or operation opportunity from the scale and index. If you go to index is very important. Macarona will be underneath this index. You can find out. And SMEs are very good things to use. That's Capin. Capin. If you're SME, if a big enterprise want to find a supply chain, Capin is a good source, good platform. You can use this as reference. But there's a key. Taiwan, not yet. With a plastic chemical or something, primarily it's and Taiwan is not included there. So CAPIM, this time I chatted with Fasicon. They were invited into the CAPIM because it's like they want to attract supply chain. The big companies there, they hope that you can be the leader. Just like Wistron, Inventalk, later on they will enroll. Then Taiwanese company will see who are in there. Even the Mexican SMEs will have the chance to join, become their suppliers. Challenges faced, and simple. Local government policy, everyone is the same. Different policies are changing. Last 4 years, our wages increased 250%. So Mexico recently they want to catch up Europe and the U.S. They hope that the salary can go up. This year will be increased by 20%. So after Christmas, the salary, basic salary, will be increased by 20%. International world trade like CP, TPP, USMCA, in different negotiation, you have different items. Then you will have different tax. You need to pay attention. Human capital and stability, just like I said. Human capital, they have that, but how about the stability? So most Taiwanese businessmen spend a lot of effort to keep to retain labor, but they have a free walk away. That means you cannot find their loyalty. You can only try to treat them good. May not be fair to say so, but you need to take the emotion with them. They will stay. So stability, about 50. Turnover rate of 50% is frequently seen. Just like supporting team. Recent things I want to share with you. Mexican government, Jackson Martin also received our calls to harass them. Say our company employees cannot get a visa. Why you have this minimum quota? These are the headaches. Relatively like Taiwanese business like Inventec, they have people from China to support. Biggest thing is people from China, they don't know English and don't know Spanish. They fly to Mexico because in the custom they've been blocked. You have the work permit, they will send you back to China. You need to consider clearly. You need to do some training to your employees. Also uncertainty and goal setting. That depends on every company. Opportunities in short term and long term. That depends on how you do that. After all, Mexico, you have the opportunity. It's up to you how you create the opportunity. That's it. Okay, that's for me. So basically, this is what I want to share with you. In principle, last 10 plus years, I've seen a lot of ups and downs and a lot of SMEs. So I hope you can get in. Without SME, people still import from overseas. So Mexicans SMEs to be strong, allow them to come in. Thank you. Thank you for your sharing. And please be seated. Next, we'll go to Chihuahua. That's the tech hub of the investment for Taiwan's high tech. So we have two people to share with us. Okay.
Hello, everybody. I would like to express my gratitude to Chairman Richard Lee and his team for hosting us in your beautiful country and revealing similarities and amazing opportunities for business development in both regions. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to start with the presentation. As you may already hear, we have been in the manufacturing business for more than 50 years. The first maquiladora was established in Ciudad Juárez a while ago. So we have a very strong culture in terms of manufacturing. Okay. We also host, we're #1 employer of the IMEX program, which we already talked about what is IMEX. It's basically you import goods into Mexico, you add value to them, and you export them without paying duties. We host 518,000 employees. And last year, we received $1.8 billion in foreign direct investment. This year, so far up until the end of October, we have received 36 new companies that have established it in our state. 22 of those have chosen Ciudad Juárez, and the rest of them, they have chosen also the city of Chihuahua, which is located 370 kilometers south of the border, Juárez and El Paso. We also have the most resilient dynamic state economy in our country. Our GDP is the highest in the country. The highest in the country is 5.1% on the first quarter of this year. And we are #1 exporter of Mexico for the last 12 years in a row. This is something to distinguish between all the countries. Even though Nuevo León, they say that they have had a lot of investments, but we beat Nuevo León by many millions. Something that they have shared, we share the largest border with Texas and New Mexico. It's 13,000 kilometers. We have 6 border crossings with the United States, and this is one of the phrases that we like to share, and we like to mention it. We are at the epicenter of the vast majority technologies investments taking place in the United States. We're only 6 hours away to Phoenix and 8 hours away to Austin. Connectivity, as you can see, we can be in the United States, shipments leaving out of El Paso, within 36 hours, we can reach any destination in the United States, or we can have, as you can see on the radius of 24 hours, around 80% of the U.S., we can ship the goods, and next day they will be delivered in the United States. Logistics. Also, we have a very good railroad connectivity in Santa Teresa, New Mexico, which is across the border from Juarez. There is the largest intermodal from Union Pacific. So if you're shipping goods through Long Beach, and they're going to be transloaded in this intermodal, so which is a very convenient step for you guys if you decided to go in that path. Industry highlights, I'm going to be talking briefly about the 4 main industries that we have in our state. The first one, aerospace. This industry is located in the city of Chihuahua, which the cluster that is established in the city of Chihuahua is one of the most dynamic and more robust clusters in terms of aerospace industry. We host 5 OEMs, and we host 20,000 employees, which it represents around 33% of the entire employees in the country. These are one of the brands or one of the companies or corporations that we have there. The next level that we're going to be focusing on this path is we're going to go and get the MRO business. So that will give us an extra unique or distinguishes. It will distinguish us from other cities like Querétaro and Baja. And as you might already have flown in this airplane is the Dreamliner 787. 95% of the wiring system is done in Chihuahua, in the city of Chihuahua. So it's something that we proudly show to every place that we go. And we also have Bell helicopter, which the most priority is 65% of the 407 and 429s are being manufactured in Chihuahua. They just ship them to Canada to finish the assembly of the helicopter. Automobile industry, we host Ford. Ford was a major player in the city of Chihuahua to establish one of the largest industrial parks in the city of Chihuahua with 600 hectares. Ford has 3 facilities in there, and we are transitioning now. We're seeing that transition for EVs in our state. Ford has had a very good trust in our community, and now they are building a 457,000 plant to build the powertrain for the F-150 Lightning trucks. So as you can see, that's the path that we would like to follow, since we are #1 place in automobile employer in Mexico with 172 employees, and we have 160 suppliers. Some data that is not here is that we are the #2 auto parts producer in the whole country. And this is one of the vehicles, the side-by-side vehicles that is being manufactured in Ciudad Juarez, BRP, Bombardier Recreational Products. They have 3 facilities, and recently they have announced to open a new facility in the city of Chihuahua where they're going to be producing marine products. And this is the ecosystem that we have in the state of Chihuahua that is transitioning to electromobility. As you can see, it's just, we're missing just the assembly plant. We have a very, very robust ecosystem that some of the companies that we see here are now doing EV parts, such as the Taiwanese companies, and now Bosch is transitioning from the current gasoline engines to EVs. Electronics industry, and I'd like to thank your presentation to my colleagues from the Taiwanese companies that have presence in Ciudad Juarez. You know, we host around 25,000 employees from these 4 Taiwanese companies: Foxconn, Pegatron, Wistron, and Inventec. These companies, they have around 35 SMT lines in the city of Juarez, and next year, all of them, they have organic growth, and they will have around 20 more lines in their factories. So here is what I want to point out, that there is a huge potential to strengthen the supply chain for these companies and start working with you guys. We would like to start working with you guys in order to create the ecosystem in the city of Juarez or in the state of Chihuahua, so these companies can continue growing. Okay. As you can see, we are the 2nd largest manufacturing of computers in Mexico. Electronics industry, as you can see here, these are the products that we manufacture. In Chihuahua, we almost import all the components for the electronic industry, almost half of what is imported into Mexico. So as you can see, once again, I want to reemphasize this. We have a huge potential for investors, for Taiwanese investors in our state. Medical devices, which is a very big, also, we host 60,000 employees, 53 brands, and we are #2 producer of in Mexico. And also, we produce class 1, 2, and 3 devices on this industry. And mostly of this is located in the city of Juarez as well, so a few in the city of Chihuahua. And this is where we would like to focus in the future. What is going to be the future of our strategic sectors? Software development, e-mobility, advanced manufacturing that relates to EI and IoT, semiconductors. I know that it has taken a lot of time to Taiwanese companies to develop the semiconductors, but we come here to raise our hands. And I know that it will take a lot of time, but this is a trigger point, this kind of visit that we're doing today. And then the next year that the governor is coming here, we have met this week with universities, with the science park, in order to start working on a collaboration between Chihuahua and them to start this roadmap, to start thinking about what is going to be needed in order to get from point A to point B. And then low carbon economy. So we as a state government, we can give you the confidence you need for national or international companies to initiate or expand your operations in the state of Chihuahua. One of the things that is very important for us, in order for you to support your operations, we need to develop talent. Most of the colleagues, they have talked about this. We have a very good universities, even though we still need to get the higher skills, like in semiconductors. This is why here are some colleagues of mine that they have already made contacts with the university here in order to start working on that path to hire up our skills that we have in our state. We annually graduate 6,000 engineers in our state, 34 related to STEMs, and we graduate also 20,000 technicians. Talent development, there is one of my colleagues here. He's in charge, he's the director of the High Technology Training Institute. This is something that no states in Mexico has other than Chihuahua. We have five technology training centers in the state, one of them being the most important one in Juarez. And this is a key success factor for some companies. For example, I like to name the Foxconn. They have been working very closely in tailor-made training for Foxconn and developing SMT training and so on. Also for some other companies, this technology training center has been a key success decision in order to choose Chihuahua as their destination to start their operations. So it's something that when you guys go there, you must go to this place. It's amazing. Also, we need to ensure that energy it's available for your growth. So the governor created the State Energy Agency early this year, and this is a plan. I'm not going to go through the detail, but the idea is to work in conjunction with the Federal Electricity Commission and SENACE in order to provide the infrastructure that is needed for the manufacturing sites. And by the end of 2027, 2,000 megawatts will be available, will be delivered to the city of Juarez. Security, in terms of security, the highways in Chihuahua are very safe. You can check them. There is a website that is available. We have no issues for the trucks going north. That means from the city of Chihuahua to the border. We have no issues. Monterrey has a lot of issues in terms of security. When the governor was a mayor in the city of Chihuahua, she created this surveillance platform called Escudo Chihuahua. Now that she's a governor, she's replicating this platform in the whole state, especially in Ciudad Juarez. that basically is going to be the city surrounded by cameras in a very, very robust platform that the crime is dropping. So this is something that we probably show this whenever you guys decided to go. We can take you to where this platform is located, and you can see by yourself how amazing and secure this how much security will bring to the city of Juarez as well, and into the city of Chihuahua. The incentives that we have, we basically take in consideration for the most part the payroll quality and the investment amount. We do the analysis of these 6 factors that are located on the left side, bottom of the screen, and we can give you up to 10% of the capex in 3 different things: payroll tax, which is 3%; training development, we give you a subsidized fee; and company-specific incentives. There are some cities in the states that we offer land, so that can be also an option for you. In terms of company-specific incentives, it would be any assistance with the federal and the municipality government. Okay, and I'll change that. I will say that I really like Jackie's comment. Let's become Juarez in Chihuahua, the next science and technology hub for the Taiwanese investment and business development. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Alejandro Jaques. Thank you so much. And last but not least, we'd like to welcome Mr. Manuel Patron, the Chihuahua Global Expert on Trade and USMCA, also a Bakery and McKenzie partner. Welcome， 让我们接下来欢迎我们今天的最后一位讲师，也是来跟我们分享 Chihuahua 的奖励措施和一些投资竞争的优势。Welcome。
Well, thank you very much to TEEMA. Thank you very much to all present here. Thank you for your interest in this part of the presentations, or rather perhaps your patience to be at the very end of this extraordinary seminar where I have learned also so much. What I'm going to talk about now, after hearing so many interesting things about the experiences of companies doing business in Juarez, in Chihuahua in particular, I'll walk through a quick overview on how to set up the presence in Mexico, how to do that, how to establish a business and operate a manufacturing venture in Mexico. And I would say that in reality, to begin with, you need a corporation, you need a legal vehicle. And that's not rocket science on how to do it. It's really rather simple. There are 2 essential types of companies. The process is very formalistic. It takes a bit of time to get to that point, but you'll get there. I mean, it's not that really complicated. I would say that from the day one you start thinking about your venture in Mexico, there are multiple things you need to think in advance. One of the new topics that investors have to identify is who's going to be the ultimate beneficiary owner of the company, because that entails the disclosure to the Mexican government of the individuals that ultimately control the company. And that Mexico has adopted a rather strict process which demands information even from spouses and family members of those individuals that control the company. So you have to think, very clearly and what's going to be your vehicle. Let me see here, just in this slide, 2 typical type of options: the corporations, the stock corporations, or limited liability companies. I would say the second one, the limited liability companies, is the one that is frequently chosen by investors because it gives you more flexibility in your international tax planning. And we'll talk in some slides in this presentation about that, how to have your entry in Mexico and try to make it efficient in the international arena as well. I don't go through this very detail. I know we don't have lots of time, but let me share this picture with you. The high level overlook on the taxes that companies need to pay in Mexico. Essentially, to put it simple, you have the income tax in Mexico for corporations is going to be at the rate of 30%. Then you have the value-added tax, which is a very important cost to consider in doing business in Mexico, because that applies to your imports, sales, services, lease, rent. And we have different rates. So you can complications may start here because you don't want to go with a default provision of 16% for VAT, because you have options 8%, 0%, and those are very important to consider in the financials aspect of your business. I would say also that payment to dividends to the stockholders of the company would demand a withholding tax as well. So individuals will need to be taxed if dividends are paid. And a very important portion to consider is that Mexico has a mandatory profit sharing of the profits for the company to the employees. That's a 10% of the total profits of the company. Those needs to be distributed to the employees of the company. So these are very important aspects to take into account whenever you're planning your business, no? But in Mexico, the federal government, which is the one that actually regulates maquiladora industry, IMEX industry, IMEX and maquiladora are essentially the same meaning in different times perhaps, but the maquiladora industry has enjoyed throughout time multiple benefits. The federal government really has tried to foster the development, and you have seen in previous presentations the success stories of doing so. So currently we have what we identify as a border zone incentive that goes to income tax and value-added tax breaks, I would say. But that decree is coming to an end at the end of 2024. It has an expiration date. So for any new venture, you're probably missing this opportunity right now, because it takes about a year and a half to plan a manufacturing venture in Mexico, no? But then we have also the tax maquila benefits. It's there for all companies, and it doesn't have an expiration date. This is the one that most companies doing business as maquiladora choose to get the benefits from. It's nice to have because it controls the amount of income tax that companies are going to be paying in Mexico with respect to some thresholds associated to the machinery and equipment essentially of the company, and some other points that are taken into account. A good benefit is that it gives a reduction of 47% of the payroll that you pay to employees. So this is very important benefit for companies. And maquiladoras, one of the main characteristics is that they hire a lot of people. So these benefits on payroll are important. We have in this current administration 2 additional benefits: the transseismic benefits, which this is one regional located. This goes to the south east of Mexico, try to develop industry there, which is not as developed as in the north. Companies need to be located there in order to access these benefits, and not too many maquiladoras are considering this at this moment, but it may be a good option for investors that want to invest in chemicals. The southeast of Mexico has a lot of companies associated to the oil and chemicals, so it may make sense for some companies considering using chemicals to be located there. So that's an option there that you can see some of the benefits there. And lastly, we have what is called the nearshoring tax incentive. This is relatively new. This has been there for only a few months. It's coming surprisingly at the end of this federal administration that comes to an end later next year. But it provides good breaks in terms of accelerated depreciation for investments in companies. So you need to do a true exercise of planning to see what's the best option for your company and for the type of venture you're seeking in Mexico, no? And I say this also in the context that when you plan for a maquiladora operation in Mexico, you're already what I call an international player. You're a global player. So you have to think global when you're in Mexico and you're a maquiladora. And there are multiple forms to establish a manufacturing venture. There's not necessarily one single form. So there in these slides you see some of the options that are out there. We're talking contracts, we're talking ownership of assets, we're talking assumption of risks and benefits and profits. All of that you need to take into account to see what's the best model for your business. On the right-hand side, we have the maquiladora for Mexican tax purposes. It also takes care of the shelter companies. Shelter are essentially service providers that host, a client to run a manufacturing operation with the legal entity or vehicle of the service provider. No, this is an important option for companies. But those tend to have less profit, taxable profit in Mexico, because they take few risks and they own very little assets, if any, at all. No, and if you move towards the left of the slide, you'll see models in which the Mexican company starts taking more risks and more profits and more functions on the decision-making process on how to manufacture. So it's very important to take into account which options the model is going to follow, because from a legal standpoint, tax-wise, I'm saying it's easy to move from right to left, but you cannot move from left to right in case you want to change in the future. Okay, so you can start maybe being a maquiladora, and then later on in life say, no, this tax model is not good for me, I can move left. But if you start on the right and then you discover the benefits of being a maquiladora, then sorry, you're too late. You chose poorly. So this is why it's important to try to spend some time in investigating what are the characteristics for your business. No. From this, I move very quickly. I want to do this, but I don't want to, skip this. Maquiladoras is a customs program in reality, and customs is regulated by the Federation, and everything associated to trade in Mexico is federal regulated. So these are the same rules throughout the country, no? But I'm listing here perhaps what I identify as the most important permits or registrations that a maquiladora must have in hand in order to properly operate. We go from the importers registry, your IMEX or maquiladora registration, your value-added tax or VAT certification. This is key, this is essential, because this is the one that currently allows maquiladoras not to disburse the VAT upon importations into Mexico. This is a saving of 16% on all of your imports. So it's very important that companies get this. Also some benefits on controls. Mexico is controlling more and more goods which are sensitive to the Mexican economy. We're talking textiles, we're talking steel, aluminum, and other agricultural products. So if your process demands this, you need to have an extra level of registrations and permits. No. And lastly, it's been referred to the PROSEC license, the PROSEC program of Mexico. This is a program that allows manufacturers to reduce the level of duties payable in Mexico at the end of the day. It is true that maquiladoras do not need to pay duties at the time of importation of goods into Mexico, but they may pay duties depending on the destination export of the product. So it's not across the table, but because, as you have seen the numbers, the intense trade between Mexico and the U.S., will see that companies need to factor in the cost of duties if they are going to be exporting heavily to the U.S. But as been said, in a very simplistic form, and I'm trying to represent what the maquiladora business looks like, because maquiladoras are service providers. They provide manufacturing services to a principal which is located outside of Mexico, which is the owner of the material and equipment and the materials which are processed by the Mexican maquiladora after the importation of the goods. They process the materials, manufacture finished good, and they export. And this is a circle that they follow. And again, depending on the destination country, duties may be applicable or not. It's important to mention also that material and equipment is always subject to the payment of duties, because that's one of the commitments that Mexico needs to follow in accordance to the World Trade Organization's rules. Mexico is a member, of course, of the WTO, so we must observe the rules, and Mexico cannot waive duties for material equipment that is going to be utilize in the exporting business. No? So this is very important. Mexico, however, I emphasize, is not too interested in collecting duties for maquiladoras. This is why they have developed the PROSEC program. This is why Mexico has so many free trade agreements, which duty rates are zero, as it has been mentioned in the past already. And in top of that, if your particular materials are not listed as those benefited by PROSEC, and you don't have a free trade agreement to claim for, there is an ultimate residual option that goes permit by permit, material for material for each company, which is called Rule 8. But again, Mexico tries to give as much flexibility as possible for the exporting business to be efficient, and maquiladoras are not perceived as taxpayers duty-wise for their exports. No? Again, the VAT certification is essential, because otherwise the cost of VAT is going to be on your cash flow, and that's a very important cost to consider. Now, what we're looking here now, it's a very traditional maquiladora business, but this model has a very important flaw. It does not consider the supply chain domestically in Mexico. Okay, this is the model that considers. Why? Because frequently, you know, and I think as time goes by, it's more and more that one company supplies to the next company neighboring, you know, next door, and then to the other, and you know, it may be endless. So there is a process that Mexico implemented to avoid the circular process that we saw in the past here, that maquiladora export outside of Mexico. The Mexican government developed a system in which they allow the maquiladora, I'm calling here the supplier maquiladora, to deliver domestically in Mexico to the next door maquiladora, still maintain the maquiladora benefits for all of the parties involved, and the supplier maquiladora here will be performing what is called a virtual exportation. It means that it is released from all obligations as a temporary importer, and then the products that are imported, they go and move on to the next company maquiladora that performs a virtual importation. It's virtual because it's domestic, it doesn't come from outside, but it's subject to essentially to the very same rules and regulations applicable to imports. But this has allowed that the supply chain establishes in Mexico in a more efficient way, so you don't need to export physically your goods outside of Mexico in order to deliver them to your customer. And when you're thinking about supply chain in the future, global supply chain, this principle of virtual operations is very, very important, and all maquiladoras are entitled to do this more and more. I have to say that, and although I don't have time to go into a lot of detail on this, maquiladoras is essentially for exporting, but there are also rules which would permit for maquiladoras to supply or deliver to the domestic market. And just to end on this map simply represents the locations in red where Mexico needs to collect duties on maquiladora exports. In those regions, Mexico is obligated by treaty, by international treaties, to collect. On the green areas, Mexico is not obligated to collect. This is a duty-free operation by Mexico for maquiladoras. So as you can see, in Africa, South America, Asia, there are no duty obligations for maquiladoras, mostly North America and European Union. No? With that, I simply will mention that Chihuahua Global is a non-for-profit organization that I'm a partner in Baker McKenzie, but we're a member also with Chihuahua Global, that Chihuahua Global has professionals that can help companies give advice on how to have a soft landing for an operation in Mexico with different type of professionals. You can contact us and we can help you with any question you may have. So with that, I think my time run up, so thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Patron, for the informative sharing. Thank you. Please kindly resume to your seats. And due to time constraint, we're great to inform you that we are going to cancel the panel discussion, but feel free to connect with all of our speakers and representatives here after the session. And right now, we will proceed to the lucky draw session at the very end. 所以我们今天呢，因为时间的关系，所以我们就先把最后一个 panel Q&A 的时段先取消。那欢迎大家在会后都可以跟我们的讲者来进行交流。那现在呢，我们就要先来进行抽奖。 所以我们待会呢，就是要留在现场的贵宾呢，抽出来的话才会算数。那我们今天会有2个奖项， 首先呢，我们就先邀请到我们墨西哥商务签证文件暨文化办事处的 Mr. Martin Torres to join us on stage. We're going to draw out the first present. 是我们的这个墨西哥艺术画一幅 ，so we'd like to give a little bit introduction of the painting. We can actually show, yeah. 我们待会第一个奖项就是会抽出这幅画作，这是墨西哥的艺术画。
Well, this is always a little bit difficult for me to explain, even in Spanish. But this is a very typical kind of artwork done by artisans in Mexico, especially in the southern part and central part of Mexico. It's all handmade, and it is done on the edge of the trunk of the tree. So they pull it out, and then they use natural tints to paint this. And so our friends from TEEMA asked us to contribute with something typical for Mexico, and we're always very, very proud of this type of work. So this is where we are contributing for the lucky draw, and I'm sure that whoever gets it will be something very meaningful from my country to have in your home or office. So this is it. It's called I don't think that even in español, ¿cómo se llama? Es pintura en amate. We call it pintura en amate. So
pintura en amate.
Amate. Amate would be the actual tree part where it's actually painted.
All right, thank you. So let's draw out the lucky winner. 那我们先抽出一名幸运的贵宾，到现在留到最后的时刻。那我们请把大家的抽奖券都先拿出来，我们会唱名3次。Oh yeah, I'm gonna read it for you. 这是 I need to confirm with 谢俊之吗？0972的电话有在现场吗？0972186568。不好意思，因为有点好，这位是您吗？好像是你是。我们208-208-722，是你吗？这不，我说下面抽奖券的号码。哦，好，那马上好，我们上来领奖，我们看一下这个是不是您好了。好，那我们稍后再核对您的住址。好，那我们上来那个来，我们来领奖一下，请 Martin 来为我们颁奖。我们到中间好 ，Please go to the center of the stage in front of the sofa. 好来。Congratulations， 恭喜！那我们也请将这个抽奖券，待会我们再核对。Thank you, Mr. Martin Torres。好，那接下来呢，我们今天要抽出的第2个大奖呢，就是来自我们联合航空的美国、台湾不限航点的来回经济舱机票1张。所以现在呢，我们就邀请到我们联合航空的业务经理了，麦克风在这边 ，Boris Chen 来跟大家介绍一下。
你好，大家好，我是 Boris， 我是来自联合航空。那感谢联电工会还有 AIT 这边。那因为目前联合航空我们现在每天是飞2班，从台湾直飞美国吼。但这美国部分刚刚有提到墨西哥，也不用担心，我们可以从墨西哥旧金山，像是转过去到墨西哥都不用担心。另外跟大家介绍的是，我看各州政府都在这边，旁边有很好的 booth。那这边不管是Washington 啊、Montana、Virginia 或者是 Pennsylvania 这些资讯都可以去跟他们拿。那我们现在话不多说了，我就直接来抽出一个幸运得主。
好，那我们马上抽出这一张不限航点的美国来回机票，来，请 Boris 直接帮我们念出来。
陈香玲，电话是后3嘛，是377。
陈香玲。
陈香玲在吗？
哎，真的在现场哎。
好，
我还想说，
欢迎欢迎。
对，
要准备要抽下一位了。
对，我还想说准备要抽下一位了。哇，恭喜！我们这次都一抽就到现场来，我们请带着抽，有抽奖券就直接放在badge后面，好，太棒了！你可以去美国玩了，或是可以到美国来投资，好，然后我们请到舞台中央好吗？好，我们都拿，都可以拿，都拿，对。我们的 logo 也拿一下，对，毕竟是我们 United Airlines 的这个，哇，联合航空来回经济舱机票1张，太棒了！今天呢听了一整天的论坛之后呢，还带回机票1张，可以直接到美国来进行投资。好，谢谢，我们谢谢 Boris， 也谢谢联合航空呢为我们这个提供的最后一个非常棒的奖品。那我们今天的论坛到这边就圆满完成，非常感谢今天从一早呢，如果有2场都有参与的话，非常感谢大家从一早到现在呢，非常尽心尽力的来聆听，希望大家都收获满满。那最后呢，当然也欢迎大家，我们各州的代表都还在现场，或者是呢刚刚 panel 没有聊到天的，没有办法交流的，到最后的时间呢，希望大家都好好把握。我们今天鼠娃娃的代表都在这边，所以欢迎各位呢可以继续留下来交流，做更有深度的探讨。也希望呢，我们电电工会可以带着各位台湾的产业一起链接国际。我们下次再见，谢谢。